A lot of good to see a lot of the old folks around tonight. A lot of the old members and a couple of new ones popping in. Um, I see a couple of folks that are still going by their names. It's like iPad 2 or Bob's Ink Pen or whatever. Hey, folks, change the name on the screen to where it's your name so we know who you are or where you're at. We don't tell anybody, really. And it's a private little club. Nobody will know. But we like to know where everybody's from and what they're doing and how they make it out. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and we seem to be warm and staying away from those things, so which is really good. My heart goes out to those folks in Texas that just can't stay dry, and all those losses they've had due to river flooding. One of those natural things that we just can't overcome, but it will get better. They will find a way to surmount that. Really. Okay, hey folks, we have a great program coming up, only about 14 months away, and it's called Level Up. Now, I was talking to somebody the other day about this, and they said, "What would I compare it to?" And that wasn't really a fair question. What would I compare it to? I would compare it to me inviting 5 or 6 of my friends over to the shop and teaching them something I know on my machine right there with them, getting right down networks with me, and then letting them try on their own right there on the machine. And then if we liked it, maybe we'll go outside and do a little carving on it, maybe a little burning, might be some artistry on it. I did like detailing with power tools and carving tools. We play with it. Then I got to thinking that is exactly what we will do at Level Up. We will get folks together in a close relationship, and we will show you things that happen in shops with wood turners. Now, I got to emphasize that it's going to be with wood turners, not wood turning instructors. We're being very careful about the ones we pick because they have the capability, they need the capability of sharing what they're showing. I've been to demonstrations where the guy didn't say 3 words. It was lousy. All right. And then I've been in demonstrations where the guy talked about his new barn and how they put the rocks up next to this and all this. That was lousy. All I want somebody to do is have a good old conversation with me as they turn the wood or shape it or whatever. When they take a cut with a gouge, tell me why they opened it or closed it. In fact, there might be people in the audience that don't understand what open and close means. Run the bevel, ride the cut, make a slice. Well, that's all going to be explained at Level Up. That's coming up September 2026. It's not that far away, folks. We'll open registration in a couple of weeks and let you get your money down, get your spot reserved on the front row, and all that. And it's a fantastic opportunity to come meet other members of Worldwide Wood Turners. That's right. We meet every Wednesday night, and you see the crowd of people we attract and the uniqueness. Isn't that a funny way to say it? The uniqueness of our crowd. And I was so kind just now. I mean, look, imagine that. I said uniqueness for Billy and Al and Ella. Uniqueness, okay? Because we have a fun time. And we do a little teasing, we do a little kidding. If you drop the ball, we let you know you dropped it, but we help you pick it back up and keep running because we like what we do. We share. And I want to know more about that. So, as always, the format for Level Up is always versatile. We want to have more and more. So if you've got something you like to add or encourage or demonstrate or show or display or whatever, I'd like to see it. We put this up. We'll be touching a little bit on laser engraving. But we just saw where Holman came up with his laser pecker, his thing that he mounted on a tail socket and did some decoration on his bowl. That looks so absolutely so simple that all wood turners who want to do custom markings on their bowls needs to look at. You really do. This is just what it, and I don't think it's a major investment, but it's something we want to see and talk about. I'd like to see a demonstration of it here live on this meeting and see and show folks just what it is and how easy it is to work and what you can do. And then you can expand on that. We saw what Billy Dillett used to do pieces on his lathe, put it in an indexing rig and index it around and put embellishments on the outside at different points. That was fantastic. And he was using one of the older, more common varieties of lasers. But we'd like to see that versatility come from you, because that's not coming from the manufacturers. That's you, genius wood turners, saying, I can do this and I can make it a little bit better. Isn't that the way it goes?
That's right.
So don't forget, Level Up is coming up. And folks, if you haven't contributed to the newsletter recently, my number one question is why? We need your contributions for our newsletter. Parts, pieces, ideas you come up with, tools you create, gizmos, gadgets, techniques, all of that. Those things that come out of your mind, out of your shop, I might want to have in my shop. I might want to say, oh, look at that. You know, that'll work, but you know what you can do to it? You can fine tune it a little bit. We've seen that happen right here. Right. We've seen projects that have been in development for 30 years get changed right here. So you got something? Send it to us for our newsletter. We might not see JJ tonight. He's a little bit under the weather. He's getting one of his knees rebuilt, but we'll see him back again next week. But I hope we got enough photographs and stuff for him to get the newsletter published while he's under the weather. But why don't we just stack them up with him? So when he does hit the deck again, he's way overloaded, because what it's all about is sharing information. And that's what we're going to do tonight. It's about 5 minutes after the hour. I know you got a few folks with us from gallery out there. I'd like to see what they turn tonight. I'd like to see what gizmos, gadgets, wannabes that came up. I want to see what you've mysteriously popped into your, or what happened to pop out of your head tonight. So with that, I'm going to throw it back to Dane. And I think, who's it? Matt is handling the gallery track. If you got something to show, put it again in the chat, and then we'll call on you. The way that works, folks, there's no competition. Everybody gets a fair share. You put in the chat. Matt will call on you. Boom, you're up. There's no voting, and we do have a no but guarantee. I'm very honored by that. Would never say, I like that, but that but's not permitted, because no matter what, that is your work. And we really want to see what you came out with. So with that, who you got? What you got?
All right. So I can give an update. I chatted with JJ this afternoon. His knee surgery was very successful. Shortly after he came to, they had him up walking, and his biggest thing right now is just mediating the pain element and doing away with the nausea that he's feeling. But other than that, he's in good spirits, doing well, and he asked me to touch base with everybody to beg, borrow, and plead to get some more photos sent in for the upcoming newsletter. He's got some of it stacked up already for the next issue, but we can never have enough. One thing about the newsletter, it can be 1 page long, or it can be 10 pages long, or 15 pages long. It's not a big deal of dropping in more tiles with the photos that we contribute. So it's y'all's newsletter. We just put it together and put it out for y'all's enjoyment and use. And also, we're still looking for how-to articles on how to do something. then and now, showing us, photos of and an explanation of, this is where I started at turning wood 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And this is how I've evolved from making a basic bowl to doing elaborate segmented work, or whatever your niche is, because guaranteed everybody started at one place and they've evolved to a different niche within what we do. So we're still looking for those. And with that, I will turn this back over to Matt so we can get to doing some gallery items. And after that, at the top of the hour, we'll do a little bit of a safety moment with Safety Sue. And then we've got a excellent demonstration going to be put on tonight. And so hopefully we'll get a few more folks into the participant gallery here, and we'll go from there. And beyond that, all 58 people that are here right now, welcome. Glad you all came back. Glad to see some new folks. Those of you that are new, let us know in the chat that you're new, and we'll come to you later on and chit chat for a little bit and find out where you came from on your wood turning experience. So with that, Matt, who we got up?
Well, we're going to start the night with Mark Soleil. So if he's there, what you got, Mark?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
We hear you, Mark, and we see you.
All right. Well, let me turn my camera around here. See if I can. Let's see. Here we go.
Ooh. Beautiful, Mark.
Very nice.
Pretty, and you're muted, Mark.
Wow.
You just muted yourself, Mark. Be careful not to turn your video off.
Really gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
That
is a pretty piece of wood, Mark.
It's incredible. Wow.
And you're still muted.
Beautiful, Mark.
Yeah, it looks great, Mark. What kind of wood is it? Unmute yourself.
He's getting there.
That finial looks great.
Yeah. He's a master at them.
Yeah, he is.
He is indeed.
All right. Well, since we can't hear anything, should we switch to somebody else here?
Yeah, let's move on to Mr. Dewey.
Yep. Dewey's up next. What you got, Dewey?
Can't hear you.
Why are we not?
I can't
why
hear
are we
you,
not
Dewey.
hearing you?
Everybody's on mute tonight.
Dewey, we can't hear you.
Nope, I can't hear
read
you.
lips.
You got the wrong microphone picked or something.
Keep trying.
We heard him earlier when he was
I
in.
know, right?
Oh, no.
Nope, not yet.
We'll come back to you, Dewey. Reboot your computer. Reboot your computer. Stand up and do a one-legged jig.
Whatever's going on there, he's not happy. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go see what Roger's got going on. What you got, Roger?
Play along, everybody. We can't hear you, Roger.
Okay.
We can't hear
Made
you.
me a walnut heart bowl.
I love it. He's not playing along there.
Look at that, Rod. I know, right?
Very nice.
Letting the
Roger.
peace talk for him.
Looks great, Roger.
It's evidently contagious.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then a friend of mine gave me some, he thought it was box elder, but there's no red in it at all.
Well, it doesn't always have red. Red is
not all box elder
beetle.
red in it. The red only comes in. It's fighting fighting stuff.
Box
Fighting
elder
a
beetle,
fungus.
or when the wood's been stressed from being hit with a baseball bat.
Be glad it stinks to high heaven when you're turning it.
Those are beautiful. That's some gorgeous figure.
That sounds like box elder.
That really is.
It's beautiful.
That's pretty. Very
And then
nice.
while I was waiting on finish to dry, I thought I'd make a pin.
I know. I saw
Cool.
that with your laser
Saw that.
pecker
Yep.
on a round surface.
I like it.
So
Do you have the jig for the round turning like that, or? did
no,
you-
I just used my drill bit.
Oh,
Oh, I love it.
okay. Wow.
Cool.
And then when I got it done, I set it in the chuck, leveled it, and measured out my 8 inches for my laser pecker, and marked my name on it.
So was the piece rotating while you were lasering or not?
No, it would just
Okay.
I just used the chuck to hold it level
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
because I've got the laser pecker set up on the for the lathe, not on a tripod right
Yeah, on
now.
the tail stop.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Sweet.
Very cool. Very nice,
Outstanding,
Roger.
Roger. And which burn
All right.
setting did you use? Which burn setting did you use for that? Background or?
I had it set at 55, and the for a one time on wood. So
Okay. Okay. Right on.
Cool. Right. Very nice, Roger.
Wait. Roger, can you show your first piece again, the segmented piece? Yeah, when you were showing it before, I didn't hear a lot of what you were saying. How many pieces per ring?
so there's 16 segments per ring, and each heart is 6 pieces of wood. So
Right. Okay, I see. Right. Man,
Very cool.
that really is. That really
I
is
like that.
great.
That is wonderful.
pretty
And
And you
slick.
got, and it's 4 segments per heart, right?
What's that?
Is it 4 segments per heart?
No, there's 6 pieces of. You got the 2.
You got 1, 2.
Then the triangle.
Oh, okay.
And
3.
actually, it's 7. Or you've got the top piece here, here, and here. So it's 6 pieces per heart.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I remember now.
love that. I love that.
You're getting too good at that.
It's
Practice,
like
I
Dewey got
imagine.
his audio fixed.
All right. Should we go see?
You know what though? I've done a little bit of segmenting. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. I mean,
No, it's just
it's
time
not.
consuming.
yeah, that's it. You know, it's very, very simple to do. It's fascinating what can be done with that. Every time I see you, I'm going to ask you questions like that. It's not hard.
So what you're saying, Al, is everybody should be prepared to answer those questions?
No,
Yes.
no,
That's
no,
what he's
no,
insinuating.
You know what? If you show something as nice as that, you'll have the answers.
That's fair enough.
Like I said, the newsletter has the way to make the heart. So
Yep. Sure does.
Right.
That's right.
We saw it. Yeah, and you explained it before. It's nice the way you did it. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're going to switch back to Dewey and see if we could get the commentary going here. All right, Dewey. Second chance. All right. We can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. I turned a vase out of pear here a while back, and I engraved it and was trying to carve on it and decided I didn't like it. So I decided I'd do something silly. I don't know if it's silly or not, but something radical. And I'm going to share my screen with you here in just a second. Let me see if I can get it over here. Hold on a second. Bear with me, please. What happened to it? There it is. That's not it. Nope. Where'd it go? Well, heck.
Don't show us the stuff you were looking at earlier.
Yeah, here. Just a second. Here we go. Now I bet I can share it. Ah, there it is. Point. Share. And Can you see that? Nope.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's definitely
Wow.
different.
What
That-
the heck?
And I call
Wow.
color. I call that color chaos.
Yeah.
I call it
That looks
psychedelic.
like it.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I pour.
It's
All right.
bringing the 70s back all over again, Dewey.
Wow.
The
Yeah,
early
psychedelic.
70s.
Psychedelic. I started out with blue, and then I went with red, and then I poured some yellow, and then I poured some green and blue, and then black again, and just kind of mixed it all together. The reason I don't have it here with me is because it hadn't dried yet. It's pretty thick stuff. But then I just
still rotating.
Yeah.
That's Ozzy Osbourne's brain.
I just squirted it.
No, his brain isn't working anymore.
Talk it to me, baby.
I've seen him down Civic Center. Oh God, 50 years ago.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
What is it?
It's colorful, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just the base. Just the base.
And it's resin. It's
that
resins,
wrapper
right?
there?
And
It's resin over wood.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's just acrylic paint. That's all that is.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Acrylic paint.
Oh.
Okay. Right on.
So
Right
it's
on.
not resin.
Paint.
No.
Okay, now
No, it's
explain
not.
how you did it.
Wow.
Yeah, just
Wow.
acrylic paint
Okay.
out of a tube with some Floetrol and a little bit of water, and since that to make it a little bit pourable, and I just poured it on there. And
did you pour it while it was turning, Dewey?
sir,
Did you pour it while it was turning?
yes,
Yeah,
I had
okay,
to,
good.
or else it would rip everything.
You ought to show them your jig sometime, how that you made to turn these.
Okay, I may have a picture of it. I don't know if I got it on here or not. I'll tell you what, I'll see if
You
I
say
can find a
that's Bradford Pear?
picture. I'll try to find a picture of that. And if I had, I'll put it in the chat, and maybe Matt will let me see it, show it. So
Now, hey, Dewey, now let's think about it. Okay, now you have a piece of wood under there, and this is paint. Okay, now you're not going to turn any of this on the outside. Is that correct?
no,
Okay.
no, it's
So you turned your piece already, and this is the finish.
yes.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But then you said you were carving on it to get all the various striations and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, it
Well-
almost looks like it's 8-sided.
It what happened was, well, that's because the way the paint come in, that's real thick paint. The paint
Okay.
is just real near really, really thick. That's what makes it look like, you know. Think about, have you ever
That's
done
crazy.
any paint pouring on something? That's exactly
Yes.
what this
Yes.
is. It's paint pouring. And
Never
Yeah.
did it while it was turning on the lathe, though. That's a very interesting idea. I like it. Thank you, Dewey.
it's not on the lathe, it's on a rotator that I got. But I'll see if I can find a picture and put it and let you know in the chat. Maybe you might want to take
Okay.
a look at it. Let me
Yeah, that'll work.
How big is that? How deep is that?
But the paint,
No, the
piece.
vessel. The vessel.
oh, the piece is it's probably about 9 inches long. No, I measured it. I'm sorry, it's 9 1/4 inches long from stem to stern.
Cool.
From the
Very
aft
cool.
to the forward.
That's.
Thank you,
Give
Dewey.
me something else.
Very
What's
interesting. I like your creativity.
Really?
Did you say that was
All right.
Bradford Pear, Dewey?
I went kind of crazy if you ask me, but that's
Uh-huh.
okay. Oh, you
Look,
all
look,
act
look
a
at
little
him.
crazy. No.
Dewey, was that Bradford the Pear?
Yes,
Yep. Okay.
and it was drier than a desert bone. But
Okay. And then did you get that color pattern because you were part of the MK Ultra program back in the late 60s, early 70s?
I don't remember much of the '60s, man.
Oh, all right. So that's a yes.
That makes
Cannot
two.
confirm nor deny.
I was
Okay.
having,
Got it.
I was
Got
having
it.
too much fun in the '60s.
Uh-huh.
Yo también.
Out of sale.
Hey, we were all young
Oh, I
back in,
love this place.
we were all young back
All right.
in the 60s.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dewey. Let's move to somebody else here. Let's see. Al, you're up next. So let's see
Yeah.
what you got.
Yikes,
Yeah.
yikes, yikes. Does everybody come down now from that?
No, but you could bring us.
Norm
Go
still
ahead,
has
Al.
the kite. Go
Bring
ahead.
us, bring us up,
Ground us.
Al.
Well, every pep has to make a gun band shooter for their grandson. You know, so just a shaft, and I just nail a little braid in there, and him and I like playing around each other. He likes
Is that
it.
what you used to shoot the horseflies with?
Well, I guess we can because they're around. I'll tell you right now.
Oh, yeah, I know they are. I
Okay.
know they are.
Did you make
Okay,
several of them so you guys could have wars?
Say that?
Did you make several of them?
Yeah. No, he has one and I have one. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I was asking.
Oh yeah. Here's Baby Rattle. 5 captured rings, all done, in between centers. And right now, I when I was done, I wiped it up with alcohol and that put a seal on it, and then I put polyurethane because I hear everywhere like if it dries, it'll be okay. I mean, I'm sure a baby's gonna probably play with it and possibly have a problem putting it in their mouth or whatever. Okay, now just let it dry, or should I go put there's some kind of a wax that I know is supposed to be or something what is also safe.
Well, it's not that it has to dry; it has to cure, which takes longer.
No, isn't there some kind of a wax or something that when you put on a bowl? Yeah,
beeswax is food safe. Beeswax is food safe.
Should I do it?
No.
Or just leave
I think
it the
you're
way
good.
it is? Okay, that was one of the questions I had for tonight. And another inspiration here from Cade. He does these 6-pointed boxes. I just put some flowers in this one. But remember Cade demonstrating this?
Yes.
Yep.
Nice job. Yeah.
I'm going to make a few of these. I mean, they're so controversial that a lot of my friends really like this one. I mean, Kate, are you on? Thumbs up.
I don't think. How are they controversial, Al?
Well, you can put it on your coffee table and talk about it.
Oh, I see. Conversational. Okay, all right, gotcha.
Isn't that what I meant?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you meant. I know what you said.
I was speaking pig Latin.
How do we know what you meant?
You know that's what I meant. You know that's what I meant. Anyway, that's what I got.
That's why I asked the question.
That's why I keep
I don't
coming
know what he
back.
meant. I ain't about to be digging around in Al's brain.
Is Captain still on? Is Captain still on? Captain on? Okay. Yeah, can I have like a couple more minutes? I mean,
yeah.
This club. I was working it out according to AAW prices. Now, AAW here, the clubs that I used to belong to, it was $40 a year, and you got 12 meetings. You got 12 meetings, and here we have 52 meetings, which is 40 more meetings. What's that?
What a discount!
Now listen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's only $300 a year.
Now listen. Okay, it comes to. I have it written because this is like really something. It comes to $180 if you're going to pay for 52 meetings a year. Now, also, when I belong to those meetings, when I belong to clubs, I'm sorry, if there was a really good demonstrator that night, that was an extra $10 at the door. We have 52 great demonstrations. That's another $520. In order to pay dues to this club is $720 to pay dues, and I can't afford that. So, Dane, you have to put me down for a demonstration because
I already did. I August 7th. Remember, right?
I'm just saying that.
So what you're saying is you're getting some really great value here.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. I can't wait to meet all you guys. I swear.
You can demonstrate.
Level Up is going to be great. It's going to be great fun. That's for sure.
Don't do any math, Al.
All right. I had a good time. Everybody be good. Everybody have a good night.
Same thing.
You swamped us with the math.
Yeah, Al's right though. If you put pen and paper to this, we can't afford it. None of us can.
That's right.
Well, and think about all the extras. I mean, we've got a list of people I can call if I got a problem. We got a really great banging newsletter every 2 weeks. You know,
there's a lot of good people that contribute to this group. That's all I got to say. Those of you that are out there, you know exactly who you are, and I appreciate it.
Yep, cool. Cool.
And a few of us wannabes.
It's priceless.
I hope I meet.
It absolutely is. It absolutely
like what
is.
Pat says, it's priceless. You're not going to go anywhere else and get what we do here. So, but
no,
Al,
you can't put a number on what we have.
Al,
You just can't.
Thank you for highlighting that.
All right.
My wife,
and on that
my
note,
wife said I wasn't supposed to say that.
No, I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Good night.
It's very grounding and a good, a good reiteration of what all we see and experience every week. So it's good stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Sure. Everybody be good.
Heather's got something. What you got, Heather?
Hi guys. Well, besides the
Heather.
flu.
Nice to see you got an evening off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
well,
How you doing?
It wasn't my choice. I ended up with some kind of bug.
Oh no.
Fighting a bug for the past few days. So I've been making magic wands. Just a few of them.
Just a few. Okay.
Just a few. I've got 10 here, but I've got probably another 6 or more.
Beautiful work.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Assorted ash, cherry, oak, a little bit of everything. So, and I made a few mini magic wands or hair sticks.
Gotcha.
You'll have to put little white dots on these. And I don't have my other one here. I made a tiny captive ring on one of them. This ain't it. I don't know where it went. My first captive ring.
What tool did you use on your captive ring?
I just used a beading tool.
Okay.
Yeah, I turned it. I just kept wobbling it back and forth, and it came out good, actually.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. An ash bowl.
I love the cathedral figure in the bottom of that bowl, Heather. It's almost symmetrical, which is just cool.
Yeah, it came out pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah.
That view there looks almost like Time Tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Those old people that remember that TV show.
Yeah.
And
they have to be old.
old
It's not in reruns.
And one more
TV
piece.
show?
Oh my!
Wow.
Oh, that looks good. I saw
Oh my goodness!
That looks good.
Wow.
That's
It's
great.
not showing,
Wow.
it's not showing that it's red. I'd have to have a light on here to show the color.
Oh my goodness.
How do you do that?
Red.
Heather, that's nuts.
That's basket illusion. That's very nice.
That's basket illusion. Yeah.
Wow.
14,592 squares.
No thanks.
Wow.
That is absolutely nuts, Carl.
You got more patience than I do.
Right.
I've been working on that for the past couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
I just had a birthday, and I'm not even old enough to have the patience for that yet.
No, wait. Okay.
That's
so
awesome.
Now you can see the color a little bit.
Did you do it on the lathe or did you do it on a table? I mean, how do you get started with something like that?
It's done on the lathe. Yeah, it's not showing that it's very red, but there's going to be pictures in the newsletter.
You can see the red.
And
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And the centers of the red are green. But That's not showing up either.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It's
That's
beautiful.
great, Heather. Very pretty.
That's wonderful.
Was it, Heather?
Pardon?
One.
That's a nice
One.
piece.
Was it?
One.
14,592.
Wow.
I thought I heard that
Not
right.
that
What
she
was the
counted.
score?
Now, how long did it take you to do that?
To do the painting, probably about 8 hours, maybe more.
That would have taken me 6 years.
Did you use a magnifying glass? Did you have how were you looking and concentrating?
I have a little headlamp, and I sit right here in this chair, and I just use markers and paint it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, once you get the pattern down, it goes kind of fast. You're just
Yeah,
moving.
it took me about half of one side to memorize the pattern, so it went pretty good.
Nice.
I only made a couple
You did a great
mistakes where
job.
I had to sand them out, but yeah.
Sure.
That's
okay.
really
Good
pretty.
job, Heather.
Never know.
That's really
Wonderful.
pretty.
Just
And you are
wonderful.
sending. Make sure you send a good top-down picture of that.
I did. I made
Okay.
sure I was right on center.
Okay,
So
right on.
It's centered
I
exactly.
might have missed it when I was reviewing it,
Good
but
light.
okay, right on.
Yeah. I didn't send it on the Facebook page. I can do that yet, but it is sent to
No, for the editor email.
for the newsletter.
send 'em
Yep, I emailed it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I might have missed it. So, right on.
Well, check and see if you didn't get it. Just message me and I'll send it again.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look tonight or definitely let you know first thing in the morning.
I sent 2 emails, one of the wands and one of the bowls, so 2 different emails.
Okay.
All right.
Wonderful, Heather.
I'll confirm
nice.
I'll confirm one way or the other for you.
Awesome.
Very nice. What's up, Billy?
Who brought me up?
Can't hear you, Billy. Can't hear you, Billy.
I did because you said you had something to show.
I do. The 2 turkeys that I worked on last week in my demo are done.
Very nice.
So
they are nice.
Looking good, bud.
Are they both going
They
to?
are.
Are they both on what?
Are they both going to what?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Are they both going to SWAT?
Yes, they are both going to SWAT. They'll be on the tables.
Very nice.
Which one did you do last week? Oh, the one on the left.
Well, I did them both. This one is the one that the body that I turned and the
Right. That's
tail
what I
that I
meant.
turned. And this is the one that I had partially done already.
You had the Rachel Ray method. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a nice demo too.
They call it Blue Peter in the UK.
Oh, what's that?
Well, when yeah.
Oh, the magic of television.
Yes.
With that.
I like the magic of television better.
I don't have context for Blue Peter, but it sounds vaguely inappropriate.
Yeah, it does.
So.
Vaguely?
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's named after some British TV show in the 70s where they would, have something and create parts of it, and then all of a sudden, magic of television, it was done. It was put together. So, yeah. Same deal.
Yeah. So
Very
anyway,
nice, Billy.
I just remember that's just white stain. I didn't put any paint on it or anything. I did have to put 2 coats of it on though, because sometimes that's the way stain is. But the brown stain only needed 1 coat, and that Speedball Super Black India ink, of course. I mean, it does a great job.
How did you put the lines on it? The radial lines.
Oh, these?
Yes.
I use the index system built into my Powermatic 3520B.
Okay.
I just had to use 2 of the holes. I used
Okay.
the top hole and then the very bottom hole, and that gave me my 24 because there's only 12 index holes on that spindle. So they've got those other holes to give you additional options. And I used that indexing system and drew my lines using my tailstock. And then I used my pyrography tool and
Burned it in then, huh?
turned it from pencil to burn. Yeah. Now these, the delineations between the rings for where to differentiate from the white feathers to the black to the brown, I turned grooves using my DIY point tool, and then I burned them in using a thin piece of oak.
Okay. Well, it's very
But
nice.
I did it front and back. Thank you.
Very, very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Billy. Next up is Sheila. What you got, Sheila?
Oh, I have something kind of boring compared to what I've been seeing tonight, but it's a crotch bowl.
Nothing is boring on this.
That's beautiful.
Nice
That's
job.
cool.
But if I have to
Yeah.
name it,
I
I'm
don't
calling
see
it
what
why.
you're talking about boring there. That's a beautiful.
It's got some
Hold on.
pretty nice
Got some good
figure in
figure.
it.
Is that what you call shake? What you just pointed at, guys? Is that what's called shake?
No,
No.
that's quilting.
Okay.
Okay. Next time we see
Or
shake,
curl.
bring it out. All right.
Yeah.
Watch
yourself
Shake will be
curl.
a
Rewatch last
crack
week's,
that follows the annual rings.
rewatch the end
How
of
big
last
is
week's
that,
meeting.
Kayla?
Al, rewatch the end of last week's meeting,
Okay.
and Doug Rowe had a piece of mesquite on his lathe that had serious, horrible, scary ring shake on it.
Okay.
Yes.
And we talked
how
about it.
big? How big is that bowl, Sheila?
Not counting the dog hair, I think it's about somewhere between 9 and 10 inches. I forgot to measure like
About 10 inches.
the
Well,
longest
that
one.
was a pretty big piece when you started. Then, sure, right.
It wasn't too bad.
Well,
That would be
really
beautiful
pretty.
on a coffee table.
Yeah.
Well, you were turning a lot of air, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I
Very
wasn't sure
nice,
when I
Sheila.
started if I was just going to do a little bowl and keep a whole lot of thickness in it or not. And I just kept going until I was done.
Nice job. Nice job.
That's a good
You
job.
turned off all the wood that wasn't bowl. Is that it?
Yeah.
What did you finish it with?
It's just got tung oil on it.
Okay. Very pretty.
I brought it inside a couple days ago and saw it in the light in here and had to go back and sand it off and start to finish over again.
Yeah, that never happens to
Yeah.
anybody else. That happens to all of us.
No, that's really pretty. Really
It happens
pretty.
to me just about every time.
Oh, goodness.
You need to figure out why.
Yeah.
More
not
lighting.
good light, or I just get bored at that point and want to go on to the next piece.
Oh, you can't do that now. You can't skimp on the finish.
Well, this one only started because I was trying to reorganize my log piles, and I said, oh, crotch piece, cut that and let's get rid of it.
Works for me.
My log piles are still not organized.
Well,
is anyone's log pile organized?
Just start at the top and work your way down.
Yep.
The organization of a log pile is the one you once always at the bottom.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. I seem to think, that my internal log supply is perfectly organized, but every time it's always a certain piece that I want. I know exactly where it's at, and like Jeff was saying, it's in the back and it's on the bottom, and so you got to move everything out just to get to it, and then you got to move everything back. By the time you're done by the time I'm done with that, it's Miller time, and I'll worry about turning the next day.
Need to get you
Mine's
one
just like it was dumped out the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Need to get you one of
All
those
right.
things. It'll rotate all that stuff around for you. See,
Yeah, put it on a rotisserie, right, Dewey?
Or something. Yeah, big one. Great big
Right,
one.
big lazy Susan. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We got to
If I ever
use
win
for
the
a
lottery,
merry-go-round
if I ever
from
win
the
the
parts
lottery, I'm
department.
gonna create something like that, and I know wood turners would buy it.
I can design
Suckers,
it
wood
for you.
turners are suckers for gadgets that they'll never use.
Got to have a big place to put it.
Right.
All right. Well,
Who
thank
we
you,
got up
Sheila.
next, Matt?
Sue is up next.
Sue.
Sue had something.
Oh, somebody paid attention. Nice.
Yeah.
This is the second body. The first body I destroyed, but there's enough wood in there to do a couple of heads. Then this is the second head. The first head looked a little bit like
Neanderthal.
Never mind.
Beetlejuice.
No, did you do that the way? Did you turn that? Did you turn out the way Carl Jacobson said his demonstration?
A little bit, yeah.
Uh-huh.
The hat. This is the fifth hat. Don't laugh at me, guys. First, I destroyed two hats. The rims came apart in my hand, and then I was making I quit after that. Went another day, tried to make another hat, and that broke up in my hands. So today, I broke the first hat, but the rim didn't break. The bonnet came off in my hands. This hat broke as well. But by that time, I said, yeah, I'm not making another hat.
Well, it's a very nice it's a very nice piece, and it looks pretty good.
So I fixed it all and made a little bonnet there. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's
I love the way that it looks like she's got a collar.
Yeah, she looks like she's in a mink stole.
I like that. Very nice.
It is.
Very nice,
pretty.
Sue.
The only thing that I want to do is I want to burn this face to match the inclusion there.
There you go.
Nice job, Sue.
Those little craft torches that people use to make whatever that dish is.
So yeah,
those work great. Yeah.
So yeah.
Sue, it is really nice to see you back in the shop and making a wood turning outside of an ink pen. That is great.
Yes, I agree.
I enjoy doing that rather than ink pens, but I must have I have a plethora of ink pens here, so
right. Good for you, girl.
So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Nice work.
I'm gonna make another one, but a little different. I don't know when it'll be done, but you know.
Hey, Sue, after you make 5 of them, make one that's got a little skirt coming up like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, that would be carving, and I could do that.
I know you could.
The body is white cedar.
Oh wow.
Okay, the head is maple, and the hat is what is the hat? Maple. So yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Sue. Great work.
Thank you.
Ray Davis says he's got something. What you got, Ray?
Well, let me see here. Yeah, it's a great evening, and I want to also mention that this is one of my favorite days is Wednesday when I get to see all the fun things that people are doing.
We enjoy
I really enjoy it.
I look forward to seeing your work, Ray.
I didn't do any segmentation this last week. Roger's getting awful hard to follow, so I'm going to back off a little.
Nice.
Our club is making wake stands for the ladies with cancer, and so I was remiss in not getting one last week or last month, so I made this one today. just pine, and it's got Parfix as a finish, and I thought it come out awful nice.
Yeah, it sure did.
Yes. Looks
wood
very
is that?
nice.
Very
And,
lovely.
Pine, he said. Pine, he said.
Yeah, it's just pine.
Did you do that all as one piece or is it separate pieces?
No, it's separate pieces. You got the stem and then the base and the top.
Okay.
Looks good.
Yeah,
It
great
looks
job
great,
on
yeah.
that, Ray.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Nice job.
Very nice.
And
Very
then
nice.
I got one other thing. Last week, one of my good friends and camping buddies passed away, and his wife asked me to make a urn. So I thought I was going to have to make a fairly good size urn, but he only weighed 104 pounds when he passed. So she said, "Can you make a small one?" And I want to just take most of his ashes out to where we love to camp and spread them out there. But I do want a keepsake, so I made this for her.
Oh, that's pretty.
So beautiful.
Very nice.
Mulberry.
Look at
And
wow.
with
That's
a
pretty. Did he
saying
know
on the
you?
bottom.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And
Look, you screwed. That's great.
Threaded.
it is hollowed out, and I cheat. This is
Nothing wrong with that.
plastic pipe parts that I got from Lowe's, but I figure that's fine. When I put the ashes in there, I'll tighten it up, and I'm going to put epoxy glue in the threads, so I can't see a reason to be opening it. But I was pretty happy how everything came out. It's quite tight, and the seams are almost invisible.
And the grain
Yeah.
matches.
And the everything matches up awful nice.
That's
Sure
really
does.
pretty.
Perfect.
Yeah, beautiful.
You did good.
Done very
Those
well.
threads.
Very
Right,
nice.
right.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yep.
Beautiful, Ray.
I hope she's happy with it, and I'm sure she will be.
She will be. Great
Yeah.
job, Ray. Good job.
Thank you. That's all I got tonight.
Love to
Thank
cross
you, Ray.
on there too.
Next up is Carl. What you got, Carl?
I turned a pen today for a friend of mine and then engraved it on laser pecker.
All right.
And the pen itself is Spectrafly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks great. And
Very
you got the
sharp,
grain
very
lined
sharp.
up. And you got the grain lined up.
Yep.
Very nice.
Looks
What
awesome.
kind of
That's pretty.
what kind
Really
of pin
pretty.
clip is that?
I'm sorry?
What kind of pin clip is that? The emblem for the clip.
It's a Caduceus medical.
Okay, okay. That's why I was thinking that.
Very nice.
Nice
Did
job,
you make the
Carl.
box too?
No, I bought the box, but I engraved the name on it.
Okay. Great. Great. Good work.
I like your
Thank
friend
you.
behind you.
Good to see you out there in the shop too, Carl. Getting something done.
Yeah.
That's great.
I have
Oh,
a
good,
bowl
good.
on the lathe now that I've been working on.
All
Got
right.
the inside.
Carl, who's that fellow behind you?
That's his wino drinking buddy. He don't
Guinness
say much,
tonight.
do he? He's one of them good friends to have, you know. He just hangs out and doesn't mouth off too much.
Not drinking alone at the Nomis home.
That's awesome.
Very cool. All right. Well, thanks very much, Carl.
Thank
Next
you.
up is James. James, what you got? James, you out there? It's your turn.
Yeah, I am out here. I'm here. Hold on. I just have
We
one
got you.
for today. For those of us who are doing
We just lost you. We lost your mic.
We lost your voice audio.
hello.
There we go.
Yeah, we got you.
You're back.
We got
Okay.
you.
I'm on
lost
line
you
of sight
again.
internet.
He's
so
got
it
a
does
loose
get a little
connection.
squirrely out here.
Hold Hold your mic back in because it came through good when you're holding on to it.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like right off my lip. So, but I got this little birdie that I made for the one of the SWAT tables. It's some really pretty let me get that in.
There we go.
There we go. It's a really nice piece of some flaming box elder.
Yeah.
Got just a little bit of red still in it, and a little mesquite cookie that I
That
made
is really neat.
the nest of them. But yep,
very cool.
Two-piece construction. Actually, copy of somebody gave me one to take to the tables, and I was like, "That's cool. I'm going to make one of those." And I happened to have a little piece of some flaming box, flaming box elder that was just the right size. I'm like, that'll work just perfect. And
yes,
so
it did.
Perfect.
It's going to go back. There we go. Take
and,
that.
And you got
that goes to Waco.
And you got shear cuts. You got shear cut spirals to put on
Yeah,
there.
to get rid of some shavings is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good way to get rid of them, James.
I'll tell you what,
that's a great way to get rid of. The one that the guy made, he took some like really really ugly brown twine, which looked just like the thing, and I was like, I don't have any of that. And I looked down, and I'm like, hey, I got some really really nice fine shavings right here that I could use. Hey, that's great. I'll take that. So glued him in there as when it came down, and that's the gizmo. He's a cute little guy. So that's all I got today.
Very nice, very nice.
Great idea.
Yep.
Love the bird. I love it. Love the idea.
It's a great little project. I mean, it's not anything.
It's great.
Yeah,
right.
Great little.
Everyone will love that. Everyone.
Yeah.
Very cool, James. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Next up is Jason.
Right.
Hey there.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I made a coffee cup, and I used the technique that Mr. Duxbury shared last week, where I put a handle, into the mix here. I only had one handle for my coffee cup. Apparently, he needs two hands to hold his porridge with that bowl.
Eat his oatmeal, so he can slurp his oatmeal.
His oatmeal, porridge, whichever. Yeah. And so I used purple heart for the handle, and it's a piece of apple that I used for the.
What a great idea! What a great idea, guys!
That is a great cup.
Just fantastic.
Nice job.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice job.
So when you guys make these and insert the handle, are you turning the piece and then cutting the wood and putting the handle in after? Is that how that works?
I turned the outside, and then I sliced the section out of the middle, sandwiched it, and glued it all back together, and then turned the inside.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, one day I'm going to get enough guts to cut something in half.
Looks great.
Just a V block. Just a V block. Good stuff there, Jason.
Thanks.
All right. So with that, we're almost at the top of the hour here. So we are going to go have our safety moment with Miss Safety Sue. And I know she is going to enlighten us and make us so much safer in our shop. So Sue, tell us what you got this week.
Okay. We're going to go right back to basics, guys. What is your first line of defense? And if everybody said safety glasses, that's the correct answer. The second line of defense for your face is your face shield. Make sure you have a face shield on when you're turning. And don't forget our lungs and our breathing. If you don't, you should go get yourself some N95s at least, but get yourself a good mask to make sure that you're not inhaling any solid particulates. Especially, we know that there's a lot of wood out there that can react with us. So make sure that you have the proper respirator type PPE on. And the next thing is hearing. I know that we look like people from outer space by the time we get everything on, but it'd be nice to hear. And instead of saying A, please, would you repeat that? I'm good for that. So make sure that you have hearing protection on. In my shop, I'm in my Florida room, and it's an aluminum room, even though it's partially insulated. When the rain comes down, it's louder than my dust collection. So I'm actually wearing the earphones that I use if I'm going out on the range, meaning shooting range, and that really helps. So folks, let's do the first line of defense. Make sure that from the shoulders up, you're well protected, because what you're protecting is everything from the shoulders down. So folks, be safe this week. Be careful of what you're doing. Don't take shortcuts, and wear your PPE. Take care, and I hope to see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
Good info. Good info. And so with that, so this evening, I know we have one individual that self-identified to let us know that he is a new member. So on behalf of Worldwide Woodturners and 78 people that are here, we would definitely like to give a warm welcome to Mr. Bruce Butler. Bruce, if you have your camera on, I'd like to bring you on screen and have you do a introduction to us and tell us a little bit about yourself. So I'm going to bring you up to the screen now. How you doing, sir? Welcome.
Very well, thank you. Thanks for letting me join.
Well, no way, man.
Glad to have you here.
Thanks for joining.
Welcome.
I'm a friend of Doug Rose, and he keeps talking about this meeting. And I said, I got to try this out. So normally I'm in Prescott, Arizona with Doug, but right now, tonight, I'm visiting my son up near Boise, Idaho. So the only thing I've got here to show you some things I gave him. This is a
Very
vase
cool.
that I did some time ago.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, absolutely.
With the zipper, that is.
How'd you put the zipper on, Bruce?
Well, you got to make a very perfect vase and then cut it up. And you got to leave enough wall. I've got about a 3/16 wall. And I used an oscillating tool and put just a narrow kind of valley down the middle of the wall. And then I glued the zipper in.
Wow.
Very cool. What kind of glue did you use? CA or PVA or
Tight bond, actually.
Okay, tight bond.
And it actually works. Well, it used to anyhow. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
So
Bruce, what's the coloring you used?
I used a blue alkaline paint. So
very nice.
I dabbled
Great
as
work.
a kid and then got serious with it about 15 years ago when I retired.
Very good.
Amen for retirement.
Well, I'll tell you what, I hope you keep coming back every week.
Thank you.
Yes, for sure. And we will not hold it against you for being, friends with my buddy up the road there in Prescott. So outstanding.
Good, I hope
So
not.
good stuff.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Doug's real good people.
Did he tell you got Teacher of the Year award?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he
I
did.
saw it on Facebook.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for those that don't know, Professor Doug Rowe, retired Army first sergeant. The community. Oh, I forget the actual name, but they his principal wanted him to come to the Prescott Center to do a showing for the support for the teachers and whatnot for their school up there where Doug and obviously the principal teaches at. And it's formal, so he had to wear a suit and put a tie on. However, he didn't clean that gruff up. And so he goes there and he had no idea, but then he gets announced as Teacher of the Year for and it was for the whole Prescott school district, correct, Bruce? Or was it for the whole state? I can't remember now.
I can't remember. I know it was definitely a school district.
Yeah, it was yeah, I think that's what it was for the district, and then from there he's elevated for all the districts here in our state of Arizona, and so it's it's quite the honor for Doug, and we all know how Doug is self-deprecating, and he just touches so many lives there with what he does there with the kids, and obviously what he does here with us as well. And it's a great award that he received, and a good honor for something that he wasn't asking for, or trying to achieve, and it just goes to the merit of the type of person that Doug Rowe is. So we're all honored and pleased that we can all call him a friend and a close associate and whatnot. So so if you're friends with him on Facebook and you didn't see the post, shoot him a message and give him a good congratulatory thank you, and let him know that you saw or you heard about his honor that he was awarded. So it's, that's real good stuff, and it's not everybody's.
Prescott Valley Chamber gave him the award for Teacher of the Year.
Right, Chamber of Commerce. That's right. So good stuff. Thanks for bringing that up, Bruce. I forgot about it. So, all right. So with that, sir, it's top of the hour, and typically right around this time, 5 o'clock for you and I, is when we get on to the main demonstration. And so with that, we have Mr. Clayton Thigpen that is going to be doing a demo for us this evening. We bring Clayton up. Which camera do you want me to bring up first, Clayton? The overhead or the tailstock?
Probably the overhead.
Okay.
I'm running on 2 cameras, so nobody gets to see my smiling face. So you'll just have to trust me that I'm happy to be here.
Right on. So we got you here. And so typical housekeeping. It's Clayton's demonstration, what he's going to be showing us. And he's been gracious enough to invite us into his shop tonight to put on a demonstration for us. As we like to say, it's all educational. So if he's doing something that you're not comfortable with, please make sure you do. If you're going to try and replicate, make sure you do what you are comfortable with. Don't do as what Clayton is going to be doing. And so with that, if there's any questions or comments regarding the demonstration, let's hold our comments until the end of the demonstration, unless Clayton wants to sequester participation from the participants here. Otherwise, put them in the chat, and I will ask at proper times when he's doing a tool changeover or chucking point, or he has a pause in his turning here. So with that, I am going to mute everybody, Clayton. You will need to unmute yourself.
Okay.
So I'm muting everybody now.
All right.
And
So
I see
this
your
is-
mic back on, and I hear you.
Perfect.
Go ahead, sir.
So this is a dry run of me setting up a very shaky camera. So if it shakes too much, I do have the fan blowing. So somebody let me know if they're getting motion sick, and I'll turn off the fan.
No, it's all good.
I'm in
Good.
Mississippi, so a fan is one of those things, kind of like a refrigerator. You plug it in when you move in, and you don't turn it off until you move out.
That's right.
So I am a production turner, so I'm actually going to get a little bit ambitious with this, and I'm going to try to finish 3 projects in a row if I can.
Sounds good.
I'm going to move kind of fast through them, but the simple thing is going to be the same steps are going to be repeated through all 3. So the goal will be that it'll be basic concept, and then something a little bit more, and then a little bit past that.
So each project's build on each other.
Correct. So the first one, and these are just little small examples, are going to be little chickens with, I had to look this up. It's called a comb. I did not know. I just said that red thing that kind of looks like a mohawk.
Right. Chicken
And
comb.
the second one, I actually made a lot of these for spring. I had a class, a school field trip that needed an activity. So I ended up making Easter bunnies for kind of everybody. This one doesn't take long, but if you look in a West Elm catalog, they sell for about $50. And then the last one, this one I'm very excited to be able to get to. This one is going to be I think it's the most fun to do, but it is a little duck with a top hat.
Nice.
It's an off-center duck, and you can extend it kind of however far you want. Do one that has a little wizard hat. Thanks to Billy's demo last week, I got all inspired and I made a turkey.
Very cool.
And then if you make the beak and you really just don't like the way the beak went, this is an ostrich that I'm working on. I got to finish the legs, but then you can just stick a traffic cone on top. So each one of these will go in a progression, and they all go kind of quick. Each one of these, my local wood turning club has a deal with the Agriculture Museum that we do a lot of events with them. The goal every single time is to capture the attention of kids as they're walking in. So I needed some kind of small project that would be easy and wasn't a top, because everybody does the spinning tops and they work really well. This still does not work as well as spinning top, but it's fun and it doesn't take much more wood. I'm just going to use a bottle stopper mandrel. So it's very, in general, it's an easy, approachable project. And hopefully it won't take too long. So
What size blank you starting with, Clayton?
I have no idea. That's one of the best parts about all of this. That's what a thing that I'm going to keep reiterating. This is
right on.
2 3/4 by 1.5. Yeah. It really doesn't matter. The example one that I have, if you have mulberry, it turns really well, and then you put a Hadoop beak on it, and you just get a little baby chick. So the extensibility of it is really enjoyable.
Then for putting it on your chuck there, did you tap the hole?
Yes, I did. I have this one is for the duck for later, and it's just normal bottle stopper thing. I do thread it and then put some thin CA glue and then rethread it so that it just holds a little bit better. And with that, it's running fairly true, but I am going to go ahead and screw it back up. And that'll work. So throughout this whole thing, figuring out the measurements is always really easy, because these golden mean calipers, you can use them for, I guess, eyebrows. That's on Amazon. That's what they sell them as. They're very cheap, but they give you the 5/8 rule. It is just one of the best for trying to divide something. So while this is running, honestly, I'm not even sure how fast it's running. The encoder on my lathe broke a long time ago. And so now it is no fast, not fast enough, but I'm going to go here. And that's really all that I need. From here, I'm going to measure across the same way. And whenever I get that lined up, whatever the diameter of this 5/8 is, because that's all these golden mean calipers are for, is dividing 5/8 and 3/8. And that should be about good. let's see. Want to get a lot of material moved quickly. I'm going to come down with the badan. It's going to line on me a little bit because I am far away from the contact point. I'm going to stabilize it with my other hand. And that's pretty much all of the prep that I need. For turning a curve, it's really not difficult. It's kind of like turning a sphere. You start with right in the middle and you divide it into quarters. So I just have this center line, and then I divide that in half, divide that in half. That's really all you got to do. This quarter and this quarter kind of go away. Whenever you do it with a sphere, you do want to go all the way around. But on this side, I just kind of want to tuck it in a little bit so that it meets here. Actually, I can go ahead and do the same thing here, because all I really want are just some really big curves. And actually, these are the steps for the one that doesn't have the comb, but the comb is a little bit more fun. So I'm going to make a sudden design opportunity change. I'm going to get this just a little bit flat. And all this will do is just change the diameter a little bit, and I'll adjust the ratio for that. So for the comb, where's my little example one? For this little guy, all it takes is just a series of grooves, usually 2 or 3. And for that, I'm going to grab a point tool. I'm just going to go in at the center. Go in here. I'm going to make one more. The numbers don't really matter. It just, you want an even curve across them. You don't want too many flat spots. From here, I'm going to go down with the parting tool just a little bit. And I'm really not paying attention. That's one of the best parts of this. I'm not paying attention to just how big of a head compared to a body. All of that will get fixed later. All I need for right now.
Are showing naked girls or what?
Just an even curve. And that's really all that takes.
I have credit cards. I sell 75 or 70.
I'm going to swap back to Badan because this is now smaller. I'm going to get those calipers out again. And let's say this is 08. So I'll go to right there. And the whole thing gets a little smaller, but I like putting the little comb thing in because then later I get to do some coloring. I'm just going to mark that out with this. And bringing this down, I was just eyeballing it. And that will be all I need. So now we're back to the original part. To make a curve, I'm just going to take the quarters and take half here between here and here. And do quarters there. And all I really need to do is to introduce a nice little sweeping curve. You want them to match up kind of evenly, but even if they don't, doesn't really matter. the benefit of doing these kind of farm animals is they can look exactly like what you want them to look like, or they can just end up looking goofy and people still recognize what they are. And now coming across to here, most of this quarter is just going to be waste wood. And same one over here. You end up with a nice little octagon. And you can always change this up. You can make it kind of top heavy, like the chicken's sticking out of his chest. You can make him a little bit bottom heavy, make him a weeble wobble so he can wobble, but he won't fall down. Then I just want to roll this bead. And you want the circles to meet like a good Venn diagram. Nice flowing curves. Yeah. This is one of the best parts where I end up with all of these facets. And I'm going to try to not sand right now. But any of these little bumps or ridges, 180 grit takes care of me just about immediately. I'm going to work my way down. And I do want this one to sit. So I have a custom tool made. I say custom. It's a diamond parting tool, but one part of the diamond is curved so that lets me get a nice undercut. It looked like it burned it on both sides, but that doesn't matter. So before I part it off, and this is the kind of crucial point, I want to find wherever the rings can emanate from, right in the side grain. I'm going to find just a little spot right in the center. I would use a center punch for this, but this is a bird cage awl, so it kind of stays on brand with the birds. And this is a 1/8 inch bit. We're going to go kind of slow to start the hole. And you really want to drill this while it's still on the lathe, because if you try to hold it, you can end up with a hole in your hand that looks a whole lot like mine, or a scar at least.
Don't want that to happen.
No, that is. I had somebody in my club see me do that, and this was a while back. And he said, "You know, you're going to put a hole in your hand." I said, "No, I'm not." And 3 days later, I owed him an apology.
Right.
So with this where it is, I'm going to go ahead and part this the rest of the way off. And give myself a little bit of clearance room. And I'm left-handed, so you see people parting here and holding it over here. I guess I kind of lucked out with that. I can't use scissors because I'm left-handed, but you know, I can part off a chicken. And it looks like nothing so far. In a second, it'll look like something. I took the whole chuck with it. I guess that was on there pretty good. Oh, well, that's gone forever. You know what?
It's on there
I'm a wood
tight,
turner.
isn't it?
It is so much better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be wobbly.
Right. That's what's called tight.
I'm a wood turner, so I'm going to solve this with, there we go. Can't be stuck if you're fibers. And back to the bird cage all. Get to find a use for it that I never knew I needed. Okay, so while I'm picking at this, any questions so far?
No, everything's good so far.
Okay, perfect. I had forgotten to mention a minute or two ago that, I mean, as long as I can't hear what somebody's watching on TV in the background, I mean, I don't care if everybody's mic is open. I like it when it's a conversation.
Okay.
So
So Clayton is opening it up for folks to ask questions. Just be respectful and don't step on each other. If somebody's talking, don't try to overtalk them.
Clayton, what's the white washer?
So this is, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. So these were the washers, and this is the mandrel from Ruth Niles. Originally, when I did the ducks, I used that red offset jig. So this came with it, and in order to use the offset jig with the little plate attached and all the stuff, it's recommended that you use the little washers that come with it. And what I just saw is it also kind of keeps things from seizing up too bad. But if you really thread it on there, you can still kind of squeeze them in. So it just saves it a little bit.
Cool.
So this is just a block of scrap wood that I put some Velcro on. And this is just so that I don't have to change to a sanding disc or whatever. But bring the speed down just a little bit. This is going to go kind of crazy. All I'm doing is holding, this is where the hole is where the beak is going to go. Let me shift this back a little bit. This is where, so the beak hole, I want it looking directly at me. And so if I can, it's going to ease it in and go at kind of an angle. And then once it's, got a cowlick on one side, flip it over, and now you're looking at this thing. This side should be 90 degrees. You can take two fingers and push it in there. The same thing, just ease it in. And the all-important, this is the only time that I actually use a red marker in my shop. I have basically color-coded Sharpies that tell me if I mark out something, what it's supposed to be. If it's purple, that's just a general layout. If it's blue, I need to cut it. If it's green, that means I need to grind it. And if it's red, that means I cut myself and I need to go ask someone for help. So I'm going to get this on all sides, and just because I'm showing how I do it, I'm not going to take the time that I normally do, the dozens of hours. Usually this is for kids. I'm trying to keep their attention. So I'm asking them what they're going to name the duck, what they're going to name the chicken. Just to buy a little bit of time to cover all the surfaces. And there's a nice comb over.
Straightened up that cowlick really good.
You know what?
It did,
that was
yeah.
a very clever thought. Very clever. Very clever thought.
Thank you. I have beaks. One night I put on a podcast and just turned a bunch of these, and I'm thankfully starting to run out. So I'm just going to pick. I made a little tenon cutter and then tapered it. yellow marker. That's all it really needs. And then super glue, because it works at the speed of a child's attention. I'm gonna put it on here. And it's gonna be a little bit of a tight fit. Once it's done, you got the chicken.
Very
you can
cool.
add eyes if you want, but whenever I put these on a shelf, it's just a little weird seeing them all look at me. But you know, sometimes at the end of a thing, you'll put that on, you'll put the eyes on there. So
you could always have them face the wall.
But what about that one day where they all turn around?
Yeah, if I was living there, I would turn a couple of them around every other day. So yeah.
You know what? Thank you for the.
That was so cool. That was
Just to
so
mess
cool.
with you.
But yeah, so chicken with a little comb and big bead, little bead. That's going to be the thing that keeps going. So not bad for a first starter project, kind of easing in, right?
Right. It's very cute.
Now on to the second one. Oh, and that is I don't know if it's going to help anybody, but that is something that I've learned is if you ask a kid to name something, like at an art fair or something, it's one of those psychological things where they kind of get attached to it and then they buy it. I'm not sure if it's ethical, a little profitable. So the next one that I'm going to work on, little bunny. Because it's all pretty much the exact same steps all the way through. You have big bead, little bead, a little bit of sanding afterwards, but then the real trick is in getting the ears just right. So this guy's gonna go away for a minute.
I guess you could say go 3 days as well.
Mute.
So this is a baseball bat billet that my club sells them. They just get a bunch in stock, and I think we just got a bunch in stock. And they come in around, I shortened this one a little bit. You want, with these, you want kind of as big as possible. This one's got some health complications, so that's why it didn't sell. But you want as big of a diameter as possible because these do make good inclusions in Easter baskets, even for a couple gardening shops. For Easter is one of their big holidays, so they like to have these mixed in with their gift baskets. So what I did is I measured just based on this. I kind of eyeballed it, and this is a good stopping point. However long this is, I'll go ahead and get measurements. I think the baseball bat billets are about 2 3/4, and this I've brought down to about 2 1/2, a little bit more. And the length, 3 1/8, or I don't know. I'm always bad at converting to metric. So I think 3 1/8 in metric is about 12 business days. I could be wrong. But this is one of the first ones that I made based on the ratio. So a little bit over 3 inches, a little bit over 2 1/2. It ends up with a decent ratio. And just like the last one, actually that's running pretty true. I'm happy with that. I recently got this truck. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So to mark this out, it's the exact same steps as the little chicken. I'm going to mark out with the golden ratio calipers. And that's right about there. And if you don't have these, it's really easy. You take it, you divide it roughly in half. and then you divide it in half again, just like the sphere. So this will give you a 50% and then a 75%. If you don't have golden mean calipers, or if you're not familiar with it, it's roughly about 61.8%. So 5/8 would be 62%. That gets you within, there are different modes that you can get there, and they're all about 1%, 2% off. And I'll be honest, if I can't tell the difference between 1% and 2% in my milk, then nobody's going to be able to tell anything you're working on. So if this is 75, if this is 25% of the overall diameter, and you take away half of it again, that's 12.5%, which gets you down to 62.5. Is that right? Suddenly I'm challenging my math, which is right about 5/8. So you don't need the calipers. They do help. But if you look, that's where my original mark was. So I'm actually going to stick this mark. And same thing as before, I'm going to swap over to this. I'm going to get the full diameter. And wherever that is, I'm going to just have this running really slow. I'm going to mark until it lines up. That's pretty good. And that is 5/8 of the overall diameter. Maybe a little bit more than that. But this one does have a little bit of a secret thing. I'm going to take this distance. And then, am I on tailstock cam?
No, we're not.
Okay. Can we swap to that for a second?
I certainly can. There we go.
Okay. So just marking out, this is the 5/8 of the overall diameter. And between the bar diameter and here, I'm just going to make a little guide mark right in the middle. And that will help for later. So again, just like with the chicken, I'm going to go, I don't know, I think it's about 3,000 RPM, maybe 31. And feed in with the Badan. I'm going to ease in to that first mark. And I'm going all the way to that mark, that 5/8 mark. So what I should end up with is 5/8 compared to the total length of the blank from here over, and 5/8, almost 5/8 of the total diameter. It probably won't give me a square, but that's okay. I'm going to true this side up, and then somewhere in the center, roughly there-ish, I'm going to make a mark. I'm going to come in. You can do a point tool with this. You can do Badan. You can do parting tool. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to angle it just slightly, and we can switch back to overhead or tailstock as needed. I don't have those buttons. But I'm going to make a little angle, and if this is straight on at 0 degrees, I'm going to come in maybe 15, 20 degrees, and I'm just going to create a little groove. And come over and do the same over here, just to give myself a little bit of room. And that is a secret that I found to mark out where the bunny ears go that took me, I think, 3 hours of trying to figure out, well, how do I remount it? How do I get it back? Because if you use a drill bit, once you get down to your final depth, I had to pre-drill with a small drill. I had to countersink. I had to do all the different caveats just to not have it explode on me. But now, because I'm still pretty proud of this, I'm going to line up where all of the cathedrals are. And I'm going to mark out So there's this line, this grain that's running through here, and it's running on both sides. What I want to do, let me take this off before I keep knocking the camera. What I want to do is line up the center of all of them completely vertical, 12 o'clock to the lathe. I'm going to come over, and I'm not going to go all the way to that grain line. I'm going to come to just shy of it. And I'm going to punch a little hole. Wherever I go here, this is 1/8 of an inch, something. Then from this grain line, I want to punch a similar hole. This is how it keeps all of it aligned. And the ears can come out, pointing out evenly, pointing out in the same kind of direction. But again, the best part of all of this, it doesn't matter. You just have a rabbit with some goofy looking ears. Somebody's still going to be happy to get it. I'm going to do drill again, and I'm going to position it right here, get the hole started, and I'm aiming towards the center of the entire, of where the rotation is, and I'm going to line it up, let it hit my tool rest, have it be as even as possible. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit so that I'm not grinding into the tool rest. I'm going to hold it on this side because I'm not going all the way through. I'm just going to let it work, let the tool do the work, let the drill in. As long as you're not drilling in all the way, it really doesn't matter how far you drill. You need maybe a 1/4 inch, but I'll drill in 1/2 inch and it's fine. So I'm going to hold the drill against my body. I'm going to hold it, everything still as much as possible, except I'm going to lean back slightly to get out of this hole. I'm going to rotate it until I'm back in this hole. And then I'm going to push in. And what that should do is, and I can see light between these, so they have met. What that should be able to do is make them even and balanced so that when the ears come out, they also point out at the same angle. Again,
Slick.
You can do, yes.
Very slick.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that, because whenever I had this, I did the whole next 2 bunnies smiling, going, I figured it out. I got it.
Right?
So
Yeah,
once
that's
you,
a great job. Good
once
technique.
you get down to the 5/8 of the overall diameter, then you end up with, because say you have a dull drill bit, say you have too big of a drill bit and you take out wood, once you get down to the final diameter, you've got 2 really clean drill holes that will sync up well with the rabbit.
Right on.
So face shield on again. With these drilled, you really don't need all the space. You can kind of curve down here, but really a lot of this is going to be the exact same as the chicken. That's why I like this. You get a completely different animal. I was trying to come up with a name for this demo, and what I think I came up with was animals that lay eggs. You have a chicken, you have a duck, and you have an Easter bunny, which is close enough.
Yep, yep. They lay eggs.
Yeah, the Cadbury ones, if I remember right.
Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna
Tender
roll
eggs.
this around, and then same thing as before. I'm gonna go kind of slow with it. I'm gonna divide it, this one in half, divide this one in half, and I don't really need that line. So I'm gonna divide what's left in half, and then divide it into quarters, and that will help me remember for later. The next thing, this is a fun little thing. I have my bowl gouge has, I don't know, I'm trying to get better about this. It usually has about a 1/16 of an inch. I'm increasing that now, of a micro bevel, but it's roughly at 45 degrees. So if I have the flute completely closed, I'm going to speed up, So the flute completely closed, and I put the bevel on the wood. And all I do, I don't open it or anything. I just lift the handle, and it follows the angle of the bevel. So I get just about the exact 45-degree cut that I want. And this one won't be as important to follow. Same thing, I'm just levering in. Flute's closed the entire time. And this one, I don't want to go too far because I don't want to lose the mass towards the chuck. I want to keep everything nice and steady. And I also don't want to lose the line to remember how far I need to go. And then this one, this is all just removing bulk material. You can do this like I was doing with the Badan, with the parting tool, any of it. Now I do need to come down to this final diameter. Use planing cuts. And that'll sand. I'm gonna swap back over just because I want to go fast with not much need for sanding. I'm gonna grab a skew. And what that'll give me is a little bit of a flat spot. I'll probably speed up the lathe a little bit. That'll work. Follow that curve a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a spindle gouge. This is this has got to be one of my favorite tools. This is the 3/8 spindle gouge with the convex curve. I measured it at one point and it was 35 degrees. I measured it at a different point and it ended up being, I think, 17 degrees. I've just been playing around with this for so long. So I'm going to find the bevel. I'm going to swoop it around. And with this, I want it to be a little bit of a flat face. You don't want it to be a complete curve, because whenever I made these to begin with, they were for a class. It was a field trip. And the stipulation was they needed an activity. So if you notice, this doesn't have a bunny tail, a little fluffy tail. It doesn't have any kind of face, because if you do all the work for the kids, they have nothing to decorate. So push cut all the way around. I mean, honestly, this just has taken all of my sanding time, and it's at least halved it. There's some ridges here, but that is a smooth surface. This little collar will get turned away whenever I make the rest of the curve. And for that one, I'm actually going to swap back to bulk gouge. Just because it doesn't really matter what tool you use. And I believe the line was here. Swap back to the 3/8 gouge. That should be pretty much perfect. Now, the only reason that I am kind of cooking through these is because it got to a point where that's really all I knew how to do. That class, I should not have tried to figure this out and been so clever. I ended up having to make 32 of these in 13 hours. I measured it out, and I think I sat down for a total of 6 minutes over those 13 hours.
Oh, wow.
It was not a smart choice on my part. But there's some ridges. You get some, I don't know, 180 grit sandpaper. And you just get like a long 1-inch strip. Do one thumb on top, one thumb on the bottom, and twist it. All the ridges start to disappear.
You don't worry about turning your speed down either when you sand, huh?
There's not really a need. Back in December, I trained with Nick Cook, and the two most important lessons that I took away from that whole experience was when he just looked at me and said, and just showed me just how much I'm overthinking things. And then another time when I was trying to get just the perfect cut, and he goes, that's what they make sandpaper for. So the combination of those two just kind of leads to, they got the job done. Eventually, if you are trying to do this for doing something for kids and you want them to decorate it, you can just 180 grit is fine. You don't want to sand it too much because if you close the pores, then glue and other stuff doesn't stick on it. So 180 grit all the way across, and then I just spray a little bit of sanding sealer on it, and colors show up really well. It all works really well.
Right on. Good explanation.
So, the curve all the way through, I kind of got to project it and see where it's going to end. I think it's going to end right at that notch. I'm going to take a thin parting tool, bump the speed back up. I'm going to get as close as I can, knowing that my final cut will be a much smoother cut. I'm going to take a little bit of this material away so that I can get a gouge in there. And back to spindle gouge. And I want to follow the curve as much as I can.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Sometimes you can end up with a little bit of a flat to it. Doesn't really matter. If you have anybody ever say something about, oh, well, why does he have such a flat butt? You just kind of look at them weird. They usually apologize for asking. So I'm going to come through. What I need to be careful of at this point is batter, because the support that it's riding on is getting kind of thin. I'm not going to overthink that. So it's got a little bit of an angle to it. I'm going to be fine with that. Again, this is where it's got just enough, because this is hard maple. You can get away with sanding it just a little bit more and it'll still hold up. It's wanting to chatter on me, it's wanting to bounce. So I'm going to swap to everybody's favorite tool, 1/2" skew. I'm just going to use it to angle in and part in. And it'll just kind of pop off in your hand. Oop, that is a lot of spirals. But thankfully, that will stand out. So this is all we really need. Usually I would take a little bit more time sanding it just to get it as even as possible. But the main thing is the ear holes are in the right spot. And that means that you can move to the next stage of things and turn way down to 0. Okay, while I'm swapping this out, any questions, any thoughts, any comments? Because I know you might as well just call me man eater because I am hauling notes over here.
Oh, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Anybody has any questions or comments? Mic is open. Some pretty cute little projects you're doing.
They're fun, they're easy, and if you have some bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, where you go, oh, I was supposed to take a gift to somebody's kid that I don't know, it sets you up really well to make it look like you put a lot of time and thought into it.
Right? Easy money projects.
Hey,
yeah, absolutely.
May I look at his spindle gouge and his parting tool that he was using just to kind of see what the grind looks like?
Sure. I have, oh boy. Okay. I am more than happy to do this, but I am also I don't know if I'm gonna get judged.
No, you're not.
Because these are the 3 spindle gouges. And then
no judging.
These are my parting.
No judging, Clayton.
It's far too many. Okay, so the ones that I used, this one is, if you buy a 1/16 parting tool from like Metal Aids, this was like $5 on Amazon. This is M42 steel. So I put a little bit of a flute in it. It works incredibly. This, reciprocating saw blade. So the ones that I've been using so far are 3/8 square stock M42. I mean, this one's off eBay. Like I just got steel and ground it. But 3/8 Badan. I think this is the Nick Cook parting tool. That's what he told me, but it's the fluted ultra thin parting tool. That is kind of similar.
When you say fluted, what do you mean by fluted, Clayton?
Great question. This is just a Sorby parting tool that's got the little cutting edge right there, but all along this top ridge, it's actually dished in just a little bit. So what you end up with is not just a flat parting tool, kind of like this. This is a diamond parting tool. And it's got a flat grind all the way across. This has a little tiny groove in it. And with this one, it's almost imperceptible, but I put them on my other ones. So maybe I can show, this gigantic hunk of steel that I got a long time ago. I don't know if it's going to show up well, but if you can see just a little bit of a hollow grind on it where it's got, instead of having a flat, it's got 2 points. So what that ends up doing is slicing into the wood a whole lot better than it would if it was just trying to do a peeling, scraping cut. It actually has this as the wood. It doesn't really matter which way you want to use it, but it's usually safer or easier to control with if you have the groove down. But when the wood comes in, it hits this sheer point, this sharp point,
right,
and curls almost like a gouge. So if you use it for honey dippers or something, if you've ever used a really thin parting tool and not been able to get a clean cut down the sides, these fluted gouges are how you do it. It takes so much less sanding. That specialty tool that I called it, that was just an old Craftsman diamond fluted, because it's curved and it's swept back, this is in the exact same orientation as one half of a fluted tool. It'd be come back up around here. So when I undercut this, like if you make a lot of Christmas trees or anything where you undercut the base, it gives the cleanest finish. It burnishes and scrapes along here. It slices along here. And because once you part it off, you can't really sand it.
Right. Yeah, it's perfect for doing undercuts. There's a lot of us that do that. For your flute on that parting tool there, how do you grind that in?
So Harbor Freight sells and I have it inside, but they have a little 3-inch, maybe 4-inch diamond grinding wheel, and it comes to a point. Okay. I chuck that up in a drill chuck, in a Jacobs chuck, and just very carefully act like I'm trying to part into it, and it just cuts that groove.
Right on. Okay.
For anything else, I have this Allen Lacer honing grinding stone, and this small point is just enough that it kind of angle in
both sides,
and you just kind of rub it back and forth, and if nothing else, it puts a burr on it so that you can cut with a burr, like when you get a really good finish with a scraper.
Right.
Is that over-explain it enough?
Nope, and I believe that it satisfies the questions that were asked.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it was a good night. Thank you.
We're not done, Al. We're not done.
I'll tell you what, I'm having a blast already.
We're not done. He's got another project to make.
Oh, and then the spindle gouges. I'll just run through these kind of quick. These are both the Mike Mahoney 3/8 ones. This one has a very steep point on it, so I can use it for like a finial gouge. This is, and I have another one somewhere because this one's reaching the end of its life, is just a crown 1/2-inch spindle gouge, but I have really gotten used to the convex bevel.
And that's the Mark Soleil grind, right?
It is. And then speaking of
we
which,
have a demo. We have a YouTube video on Mark showing how to grind it from start to finish on a fresh tool to what Mark uses for his convex grind on his spindle gouges. So it's on our YouTube channel.
Yes, it is comprehensive. Whenever I got this tool, I ended up grinding it based on that video, and it has worked. The only time that I've had trouble with it was when I started freehand sharpening, because I'll take it to the grinder and just kind of move it up and down and follow the cutting angle. And that gives this really nice rounded over angle. It's even a little steep right now. But whenever I first started trying to freehand grind, I started calling it moron sharpening because I felt dumb while I was doing it. And you always seem to grind more on one side or more on the other. But
I've been there, done that.
It's a very efficient tool that, I mean,
cuts like skew.
It does. It once you figure out the skew and you start doing every other tool as if it's a skew, then it just the work just flies. I'm gonna grab. This is just Powermatic MIDI lathe, so I've actually got a deadlift the tailstock in.
No
but
problem.
For this next part,
so I'll bring the other screen up.
so this is going to be So these are going to be the ears. And it's running roughly true. This is a piece of maple that I think came from a flooring company. So really, this is one of those things where if you have scraps, this is the place to put them. I'm going to make sure that I tighten it down a little bit more.
See, you're putting forward another example of why there is no such thing as scraps in our shop.
Absolutely. At this point, I think I'm about a third scrap, maybe 5/16 on my father's side. But no, my whole shop is. I mean, that's what. Anytime I cut off some of those bunnies or the ducks or whatever, these just kind of sit right at my lathe and they become perfect jam chucks. So whole it's the using every part of the buffalo kind of mentality.
Right.
All right. This gets a little bit tricky because I like having tailstock up as much as I can because I'm so far out from the chuck. But you also have to have enough space to be able to, yep, see, and that wasn't even enough, be able to get the rabbit in. So to fit these, you could measure it. I know that I drilled with a 1/4-inch drill bit, but instead I'm just going to friction fit, and I'm going to use a burn line to help me figure it out. So with everything good and steady, I'm going to come across here. I'm just going to taper down. And the difficulty here is you get a lot of vibration, but you don't have to. The fun thing, whenever you remove the tailstock, you can get a lot of vibration. See, it wants to bounce around. It wants to say all these. Yeah. But if you just kind of angle the bevel in at the right point, you can get it cut without it jumping around on you. It might still vibrate because it's very far away from the chuck, but you get a really smooth cut. And while that's still spinning, I'm going to take the bunny itself. I'm just going to shove its ear hole right in there. And this burn mark is going to tell me exactly how far down I need to go. And by using the smallest, lightest cuts, see if I do this too much, yeah, see it wants to skate. But if I do this just barely touching it, just barely on the bevel, it doesn't bounce around. And it really doesn't matter how far it goes. You just need a tenon that will hold the glue. I'm going to fit this again, and it should just slide on. Yep. It gets a little angry, but it fits. I don't need to go super far. So I'm going to turn this back down. And it is a terrible cut, but no one will ever see it. So I'm going to kind of lodge this in. I'm going to figure out how tall I want it. You want it taller than you think because goofy looking ears are more endearing. Or at least that's what my mom told me in middle school. All right, so with this length, I really don't need it. It's going to overpower the whole thing if I leave it this size. So I'll bring it down just a little bit. And as I do, I'm going to try to start tapering it. And for this part, tailstock can come back up. Because I shouldn't need to be anywhere around. Yeah, that'll work. Gonna bounce a little bit. So right about here is where I want my widest point. So I'm gonna come down everywhere. And remark that. I'm gonna do a very slow taper. Now to match all of this back up, you can do a series of step cuts. And again, this is where you'd sand. And for this, one roll, 2 rolls should be enough. So it really doesn't need much. It's just a little rounded edge. Again, I'm gonna hold it while I part it off. Give it that little extra stability. And that's
There you
it.
go.
And it should fit in just fine.
Look at
The
that.
second one, just as simple. I'm gonna angle in. Get a little burnish mark. And I'm gonna repeat the process. This gets, when you're trying to do dozens of these, this is when you put your podcast on. As long as the wood doesn't fly out of the truck, you just kind of start zoning out, relaxing. Well, not zoning out. You still got to pay attention.
Right.
I'll hold this up. The tenon's about the same length, so some work right about there. And it'll scream at you, but the finish cut is all that really matters. I'm gonna hold this up. Hope that it didn't go too, nope, that'll work. And again, right about here will be my widest point. You just do the really gradual taper. And then the second ear, the first ear always takes some figuring out, some lining up. With the second ear, nothing. Ooh. Unless it's just slightly too big. Oh well.
There we go.
Or if I can find it somewhere on the floor. Because now my entire shop is filled with the same colored shavings. Okay, so on the lathe behind me, no one needs to know this. I have a second lathe set up with a little wrist sander on it. So I'm gonna have one of those magic of television moments where it suddenly fits perfectly. And you get some big goofy TV antennas. Now's the part where you can glue them in.
Clayton, you don't flatten them off at all, just leave them round?
You can. In a minute, I'm going to flatten it off so that it sits flush or it sits flat on the table. And whenever I get that sanding disc on, then that's when you can do that. It's not an aggressive sand, so it doesn't risk ripping them out or anything. I'm just gonna a little bit of glue. Again, I'm not taking the full amount of time on this. So sanding and everything.
You could do different colored ears, different out of different wood or dye them and whatnot for a project like this.
You
It's slick.
absolutely could. There are it's one of those. The possibilities are endless as long as you kind of stick with the bunny.
Yeah.
And that's really all it takes. It's just 2 beads and then 2 little tapered spindles.
Very cool.
So
you can even stick a little thing of cotton on the back to give him a little tail.
You can. That's the whole idea. The one thing that surprised me whenever I had the kids in the class doing this was they had buttons, they had googly eyes. The googly eyes went everywhere that you would expect and a bunch of places that you wouldn't.
Ah.
The buttons, ooh, they got clever with the buttons. You take some small buttons and you stack them up. You take you take one big button and you put it under, and then you make a button top hat. And once one kid did that, they all did that. So, faceplate with a piece of plywood with some probably 2 worn out sandpaper. I'm going to bump this up. I'm going to guess, again, because the readout doesn't work, I'm going to guess it's about 1800. I'm going to get rid of that little bee stinger. And this is the part where you would flatten them out. And same thing as the comb on the chicken. You kind of angle it in, kind of push it in. And then you get your flat. To get this to sit, you just figure out wherever you want it to sit. And that's the angle that you get. It sounds simple. It can get kind of complicated. So
too easy. It's
the way that I do it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it to the camera, is I do it so that if you notice the top of the head and the top of the back, just do it to where they line up and then go a little bit past. And if you angle that to the way that you're looking, and you just sit and hold, and you think, this is the time that you get to switch from thinking to wondering. And in my case, I'm wondering why I didn't switch to a lower grit sandpaper. So you just get a little flat, and it sits. And that is the entire completed bunny.
Very cool.
So, any more questions about this bunny? Because, like I said, I know I'm going fast through a lot of these, just showing you this is what happens, and then this is what happens. But for the most part, it's because I'm really excited to get to the bunny, to the ducks. Those are typically my favorite.
No, it's all good. You're covering it.
Because, like I said, it's all decently simple. It's one thing that leads to another thing that leads to another thing. And as you stack them, you kind of end up with whatever possibility you want. So I'm just going to true this up for a second, just very quickly. Because now I'm getting into the ducks. You can do top hats. You can do, I did traffic cones. I have one with a fez. I'm just going to keep these little mascots here for a minute. Look for one. Okay, so I did one a couple days ago that has this Sherlock Holmes hat. Is this called a duck hat? I should have looked this up before we started, but I just thought it would be really funny to do a duck and a duck hat.
Right.
But if
Why
you do
not?
a full circle around it and then sand it just like you do with the chicken comb, you can get this hat. If you sand it on almost all the sides, you can get a baseball hat. So really anything you want. This is going to get threaded on in a really squeaky way, just like the chicken did. This blank I'm going to go a little bit slower with this one. This one is 3 1/4-ish. And it's 2 1/4. It doesn't really matter, but it does change things when you have them a little bit bigger. It doesn't take much more time to make, but if you are trying to sell these, the bigger ones are a little bit more eye-grabbing, and the difference in process time is just minimal. So I'm going to make sure that this is nice and trued up, which it was not, so I'm glad I checked. And this is threaded for that. And I know it's going to be off center, and I'm going to have to remove a lot of material. So I'm going to go ahead and just taper this very slightly. That's pretty much all the prep that I need on this bottle stopper, but it comes in very handy. This is whenever I was doing that is a sharp noise. Whenever I was doing the ones with the Ruth Niles offset jig, it was a lot easier because you true it up on the center hole and then you move to the second hole. But I have something a little bit different that has kind of helped me speed things up. That's what I like being able to do. Is I enjoyed what I made, so I made 1,000 of them.
Right. Hey, Clayton, we got a question regarding how you go about pricing them.
You find out what people won't pay, and then you back down by $1 until they start paying.
Right.
One of the bunnies, it was right before Easter, and I had somebody else that had a booth come up and said, "How much are you selling these for?" And I said, $25. And she said, "I love it. I'll take it." And then a few minutes later, a kid comes up and tells me, "I have $10. Can I have one of these?" And I said, "Sure." And he looked at me and said, "Great." He picked up one of the honey dippers that I had and said, "I'm taking this too," and just walked away.
Little twerp.
Right. But I've had some where they actually spend time looking, trying to count the dollars that they have, really manage the money. So it's pricing based, it's ethics based pricing. I price it based on if the kid has ethics.
Right.
Okay, so to turn this, I could use the Ruth Niles offset jig that it makes the entire jig spin around. And I've made this lathe stand myself. I don't really like it. So you want to do something offset. I feel like everybody here is going to be familiar with the Ducks chuck. You know, like the Jim Duxbury thing. So
Yes,
I
yes,
have
very
my
versed.
own version where, you know, it's the chuck for the ducks. So it's the Ducks chuck.
Funny.
So you might need for
Is it
some.
plate?
Let's go ahead and explain that what you got
Okay.
set up there.
So this is the Ducks chuck, the chuck specifically for turning the ducks, where it is the layout of it. It's just slightly off center. It's just a bolt with a T-nut coming through it, and it's all epoxied in. It extends the exact same amount that a bottle stopper mandrel does, but it's also offset, off center, the same distance as the second hole, the second setting in the Niles offset jig. I don't know how far that is, but it's 3/8 of an inch, maybe half inch, something.
Okay.
So it's not far off at all, but what it gives you is if you went too far off, you would need a whole lot more room because, or you need a whole lot more material because if this is the center line and it pushes it to here, you really do have a maximum diameter before you're just spinning this thing off entirely. Keep having to go to the water because it definitely is summer.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna line this up in here, and you can take this out and put it back in, and it doesn't really matter because you're not gonna realign the duck. You're not gonna like try to remount it. You're gonna turn it all in one. And this thing will go on, and I'm just gonna thread it on here. So by now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows that I am a gigantic fan of Mark Soleil and Nick Cook. The pragmatic option of Nick Cook, and then the simple solution that is simple but elegant of Mark Soleil. So I'm gonna make sure this doesn't hit. I'm just gonna spin it around once or twice. Okay. So the issue with this is it is very firmly locked in, but I'm still not completely comfortable when I'm removing all of this bulk just to be able to get down to the tiny little neck. So what I have is, if you've ever seen Mark Soleil's off-center bud base demo, it's on YouTube. He has a 3/4 by 10 nut, and it's attached to some things with some foam, with some plywood to some foam, and it threads on. I don't know what kind of foam this is. I found it in a salvage thrift store thing. But the important thing for me was that it doesn't actually mark or discolor the wood. So I'm going to make sure that, like I was just spinning, make sure that it didn't hit the lathe. I also want to make sure that whenever I push this in, right now it's still got kind of a gap, that I won't push this into the tool rest. I'm going to get a nice close grip. So very first thing, you just want it straight. This thing is going to be kind of flinging around. It's only held on by the threads, and you don't know how good the threads are in this piece of wood or the next piece of wood. You never really have a consistent view. Second thing with that is I'm going to use a bowl gouge, and it's going to give me the stability I need that while I'm turning air, it's not going to bounce around. Now, I should have done this beforehand, but I'm pretty sure the screw hole is only about right there. So as I'm turning this, you got to remember once you get down to a lower diameter, oh, there's a gap in there. And if I mess it up too much, I don't know if I brought my example. Yes, I did. If I do it too much, then you end up with, that theory about water off a duck's back. It doesn't really hold
Yes.
up when there's a giant gaping stigmata in there. So if this is the entire duck, I'll mark this out. So from where if this is the entire duck all the way across here, you want to come over and I'll give you a guess how far over I'm wanting to come. It's going to be right at about 5/8. And for me to get kind of sort of right on that with that mark, I'm proud of that. 5/8 way down. And this will be, I don't know, I might change it up as I start turning it. But for right now, this is all the body. This is the head and neck. And then as I taper this in, a little bit more of this will become neck. The only thing to do after that is make sure it's not hitting anything while it spins. This is always the scary part. Because the best way to cut this is very, very fast. So you have as little interruption as possible between air and wood. I'm just going to get after it.
Almost looks
You do want to
slow-mo.
take light cuts with very, very sharp tools. And you're just going to want to V-cut in. This is a spindle, so you can, as long as you're cutting downhill, it doesn't matter which direction. And I want to try to not take the foam away with it. But honestly, if that's what keeps me safe, you can buy more foam.
Foam's cheap.
I'm going to start tapering this in. How is the ghost image showing up on camera?
It looks great.
Okay, good.
Looks great.
Yeah, you can see it.
Because this whole time I'm watching the top edge, and as it comes across, like I can see where it's solid, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Right. We see it.
Perfect. Good to know. I'm going to taper. A lot of this is just bulk removal, but you don't want to use something like a scraping tool because then it's tough to gauge the depth. A gouge, you can take little bitty bites all the way through. And I'm going to swap to left-handed. And that really helped clear up the angle. At this point, because it's so thin, you can do one of two things. And I almost never make the decision myself. Oh, this time I do. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to check my progress. And if you can see this little disc here, this is all short grain. It just snaps off. That's what I'm saying. I usually don't get to make the choice myself because usually by the time I think, oh, I'm almost there, it snaps off. And I don't know what it is about baseball bat maple, but it really likes aiming right for my beard. But now that I've got the majority of this removed, this is handling really well. I shouldn't need a little foam guy anymore, or probably even the tailstock for right now. I'm gonna set that to the side. Okay, so I want to do this. I've never actually tried this, and I've heard that it's not a good idea. But whenever we get to the hat part of it, I want to see what other people think we should do. I usually default to a top hat, but if anybody has any other ideas, once we get to that, I feel like that'll be a fun challenge that if you want to make me try to stump me and make me regret asking later, go for it. I'm going to bring this back up to speed. I'm going to taper a little bit more just to continue removing material. And I actually do have a pretty good height here, and the diameter is working. So I can actually do, sometimes I'll do a head that is 3/8 of an inch. Sometimes I'll do half. But this time I'll stick with a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna clean up this edge. And again, it's wanting to wobble, it's wanting to squeal. But if you get the right bevel presentation, you can minimize it. So I have these fun little things. It is just a cheapo Harbor Freight wrench set. And they are sharpened on one side. But now that I'm turning solid wood, now I can go back to Badan. And I'm going to do the sharpened side pointing away from the point of rotation so I don't accidentally catch it. But I'm going to get a 1/2 inch and use it as a depth gauge. And whenever it comes across, I'm going to go a little bit more. And that is how you just, without really bothering, measure out a 1/2 inch. Or I'm going to take this Badan, it's about 3/8. I'm going to go 1 1/2-ish. It is squealing pretty bad, so I don't want to give it unnecessary jarring. I'm going to switch to spindle gouge. I'm just going to clear away some material. If you have ever studied the shape of a head of a goose or a duck or something, or maybe a swan, you have looked into this way more than I have.
I was getting ready to say, if you're doing that, you're looking into it way more than it should be.
Yeah, that's so for the squat demo, I'm doing garden fairy, and I have a section on carving the fairy wings. What I found is angels have eagle wings, but fairies have either dragonfly or damselfly specifically wings or butterfly wings. The weird thing is there's a difference between a dragonfly and there's a damselfly. I just made the fairy. I know there's a difference and I can appreciate that. All right, so for this duck head, I'm gonna just do it like a sphere, like all the others. And I'm gonna take away this material and just kind of taper it in from here. And I'm not being specific with this at all. It doesn't really matter what the top of its head looks like. That old adage of the man who wears many hats hates his haircut. Same rule. You treat this almost like you're turning a finial. Okay, down there, and then I'm going to round out.
That's a good adage. I've never heard that one before, Clayton.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites. That's there's that one and the one that I don't know why this has stuck with me from like 5th grade, but I had a teacher who looked at me and said, "He who rests on his laurels will squish them."
Yes, yes, yep.
It took me, probably 10, 15 years before I completely understood what that meant. So now with the head mostly sort of done, I'm going to get rid of the little pencil mark. Oh. Keeping the flute closed so that I don't get a catch like that. For that, I'm going to look around. I keep trying to not bump the camera down. You probably couldn't tell by the number of times that I've taken.
Demoitis.
So with this, I'm going to use a peeling cut. This wing of the gouge is going to be acting just like a skew. I'm going to go slow as the wood wants to go. I'm supporting it with one hand. And pick up head. The rest of the body you can do whatever shape you want, but down for a second. Keep in mind, we still have this mark, possibly a little bit lower, but once we get to here, you start risking coming through the other side of that pilot hole for the fruit. Coming about, if this is the full distance of the body, I'm going to go about 3/4, 7/8 away. I'm going to start curving in. It doesn't really matter. You get the back up. And again, this is how you get a little bit more of a neck going. From there, I'm going to go back to just what I was doing a second ago, just to smooth out this curve. Then you really almost don't even need to sand it. So right now, it's got kind of a pyramid shape. Back around, so it's curve. A neck like this, I think it's going to end up being a swan. From here, I'm going to eyeball maybe about halfway. And from here, I'm going to go back to that 3/4, 7/8. And give a very gently.
Hey, Clayton, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm having trouble here. Clayton, I can't hear you very well. Okay.
Something happened with your mic. It kind of dropped off.
That ends up making
Clayton.
I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah. Let's wait until he does a tool changeover. Clayton, we seem to have lost your mic.
Oh no. Okay.
Well, now we can hear you, but when you were just turning and talking, we couldn't hear you. Maybe it was your mask that you have on, your hood protected.
I'll take that.
Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay.
There's just when it was when you were turning, it was real muffled, like sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah. Okay. This is what I get for having this vertical holder that I can't really push buttons. Okay. Let me try my, no, that'll do it. Okay, that's what it was. All right, so if y'all can hear me, I'm not gonna be able to hear y'all as much.
No, that's fine. We can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Let me try one thing real quick. Okay, I'll try that. Okay, so from this point, I'm gonna not really hear y'all as much. So I actually have my dad watching, manning the iPad, the tailstock camera, just in case. So if you want to
Oh,
throw
okay.
chat. Oh no, there you go. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
And you can hear us. We're good.
You're gonna be on speaker, so the lathe noise is gonna be kind of loud.
No, that's fine. Zoom will muffle it out. It's all good.
Perfect. All right. So with the OG curve here, and this is when you would sand it because you're not really going to be able to get back to it. You end up with the little duck tail right here at the end. With the duck shape and then this curving, it'll come back around with the spindle duck. And this is really just a and that's really just a detail thing just to get a nice little edge. And then just like I trued up the duck in the first part, make sure, because once you do this step, you can't really come back to it. But I think that's going to be good. In hindsight, I should have made the head a little bit wider. So this comes out. This entire chuck comes out. Because like I said, whenever I was doing with the Niles offset jig, you would just unscrew it, put it into one thing, and then tighten it back up. With this, it takes a few more steps. That's why I have the second lathe behind me. So if I have one thing set up, you can just go from one to the next. Okay, well, I'm getting this figured out, set up. Any other questions?
Nothing in the chat, but floor is open if somebody has a question.
Ooh, there's that squeak again. So this gets recentered. This guy's just kind of about to have a very busy day. And it should be mostly concentric turning. Yep. So as long as it's spinning true, right here is a corner that you don't really want, and so is down here. I'm going to use this line as actually the guide mark so that I can taper this in and then taper this almost all the way down. It might take away a little of this, but it should shrink the tail feathers a little bit better.
He's still working off the shadow.
That might have been a little bit too steep. Nope. You get.
Yeah, look at that. Nice
So,
clean cuts.
They're decently clean. The interrupted turning is still going to leave these ridges. So again, this is sand at every step until you take it off of whatever the next apparatus is. Speaking of apparatus, one of the last things, just like all the way back to the chicken, before this comes off, I'm going to drop the lathe speed back down to 0 just in case. I'm going to find a spot. I'm going to make a little divot. And this one is a little bit different in that I'm going to countersink it. What this will do, give me a nice 90-degree corner. Right at the beak. Never going to get used to that squealing. So how are we doing on time? Do we have time for the hat and the beak?
Yeah, we got time for it.
Okay. The original goal is that I wanted to test this out as a demo for, traveling to clubs and demonstrating.
Right.
Trying to keep it at a reasonable amount of time that people would be okay staying in their seats and not, just doze off thinking about lunch.
No, you're perfect.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. That's why we're worldwide wood turners. We break the mold.
I like that. So then back to this small truck. And honestly, I don't even know which piece of wood I want to use. Yes, I do. This is honey locust. I'd never turned it before. A friend gave me a piece and he said, once you start turning this, you won't turn back. And that has been very accurate. This ends up with a really good shine and a really good orange glow. So that whenever you're making really any of these, underside, if you don't want to leave the bottle stopper hole, you can turn little feet, little split feet. And if you do them out of this honey locust, it comes out exactly the duck foot color, like the international duck foot standard color. I'm assuming that's a thing. I'm going to true this back up. Make sure this tight. Should be. I like to be able to trust that it is. I'm going to go back to 1/2 inch spindle gouge, and I'm going to make this all the way down to a point. This is why this is conical. If you have a 90-degree point here and a 90-degree point here, they will match up perfectly. So just like the bunny ears. I'm going to take this, and while it's spinning, I'm going to push up against it, give myself a little indentation mark or something. And I can part down all the way through. And give myself plenty of room. I swap to this finial pointed gouge and taper in as close as I can to a 90-degree. Not going to be essential. But then from there, assuming it still fits, yes, I can make any shape that I want. Tapering it down, I can do long beak, I can do rounded beak. If this is for kids, you probably don't want to do like a super sharp point. I'm just going to cut it off there. And this tiny little thing, I'm going to try not to lose it. I'm going to put Again, a little drop of super glue. Try to remember which one is the beak and not just another piece of shaving. It goes in. I'm going to cover up the super glue. Whenever you spray accelerator, it's a chain reaction. So you really only get one molecule for it to start curing before it starts to like go through the entire bottle. That's how you get the beak. It should be seamless. There's a little bit of super glue on the top. If you add wax to this, it disappears. So does anybody have any opinions or thoughts on what kind of hat?
Can you do a fireman's hat?
Okay, you know what? I asked for it, and okay, I'll try to figure that out.
Alrighty. Take any century. I got somebody new to pick on, like when Billy's not here now. Yeah, right, Billy.
I'm gonna be fine with you picking on me if I can actually make it into a fire hat.
I was
Oh,
gonna
you
say,
can do
yeah,
it.
be careful. Be careful what you ask for with Dane here.
Okay. So this is actually part of the SWAT demo with the fairy is making a hat. Part of it, I use this round nose scraper as like in a push cut, a finish pad. For this, it is kind of a smaller head. But the radius, this is a little bit why I went for this radius. I should be able to push directly in and get a perfect fit on the hat. Over back up. Yep. So 1 in a milliner fit. Which milliner is a hat maker, right? That's okay. I think I can get a fireman hat out of it. It's going to be a little bit smaller, and it might be, you know how some firefighters are cowboys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Perfect. I'm gonna do 1/4-inch parting tool, and I'm just gonna use this on its side to scrape the end grain. Yep, and I made that too short, so I'm gonna hollow it out just a little bit more. Should be easier to back hollow. Again, if it fits, perfect. As long as it sits around, as long as you can get a consistent radius, the hat should fit kind of wherever, and you should be good. Now you got me thinking about the fireman's hat. And I'm gonna give myself room.
Seems to me it would be a baseball cap on backwards.
Sort of.
We went to Mississippi style.
Ah.
The Mississippi style is a trucker hat on backwards going, I can fix this.
Uh-huh.
All right, so this will come in. I need to make sure that as I'm coming through, I don't accidentally make the outside smaller than the inside.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
with
what we call demoitis, Clayton. Demoitis.
See, I just don't want it to be a what is it? One of those visors that like poker dealers wear sometimes.
Yeah,
Sweat.
yeah, right. Black giant hat.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a rough cut, so I'm going to clean this up a little bit, but I'm going to try to follow the outside of this. This is the issue with back hollowing. You end up with a little nub right there. I'm going to clean that up real quick.
Night, David.
All right, I've heard of those. So it should be kind of simple to follow the curve on the outside to match what it is on the inside. But this really is all the same process, all the same steps. You oh, I can do that. Okay, perfect. So this is a little bit thick, so I'm gonna try to taper it down a little bit.
Looks like a pith helmet.
Looks like a World War One helmet.
If it's a pith helmet, does that mean it's gonna crack when it starts to dry?
That's the kind of helmets they used to wear in Africa when they were exploring or on safari. Or
yeah.
But that and the military
World
station
War
in
One.
Africa wore them too. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose the British.
I mean, that seems.
But if you
what is
if you sanded down the sides and the front of it, leaving the back longer, then it would look like a fireman's helmet.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Try to do. Thankfully, I recently found that big sanding disc. Okay. I've got a little bit of thickness to go before I completely mess it up.
Grind some facets in there and call it a day.
Not too much. Easy does it.
Easy. Light touch.
It looks like he's done this before.
Just a couple times.
Absolutely. For the fireman's hat. Okay. I feel like there's one extra thing that I can do. And actually, it would be a really good chance to tie it all in, but I'm going to have to jump over this other thing. So,
Go ahead. Have at it, Clayton.
Okay.
You're making a hell of a good demonstration this evening. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate hearing that. I know I go fast. Every time I've demoed, the first few times, especially, people have told me, "Well, it's good, but slow down." And why do you need to
Now
use?
you got 3 projects. You're doing great.
Okay, so there is one thing that I didn't really get to recycle, and it came from the chicken, because each step I wanted to be able to use one thing from the next project. or one thing from the last project. I didn't really get to do it. And I don't have a yellow marker. That is the one thing that I've needed. But
Look at that.
I feel like
cool.
It's red, like a fireman's hat.
Yeah.
And it's got the wider. I don't like that whenever people were saying slow down and take small bites, that was right after I had gone, oh no, I messed that up.
I think it looks great.
A little bit of a
That
flat.
looks great.
It's
Sorry.
And then what you could do with that, you could take a little bit of white and make yourself, like a white chevron on the front of the hat.
Yes, I even tried to flat spot.
That's badass. That's badass. That's great.
No, I appreciate the idea because I feel like if I was booth and some firefighter came over,
right?
It is.
Yeah.
I think it looks like a Sherlock Holmes duck.
Very fun.
Oh, I do like that.
Yeah, I've been entertained all night. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you saying that. All right, so.
Oh my God, very much.
Good job, Clayton.
Thank you for sharing.
So Clayton, turn them around. Do a 180 on them.
Oh, so you can see all the sand and the tool marks.
No, now flip them upside down. No, that ain't what I meant. I just meant a 180 to change the direction. All right, now turn it over. There you go. There we go.
Got it.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that, folks.
Very nice.
Got a
Now
bunny
the bunny
rabbit.
ain't mooning us.
Now you got a fireman with a fireman's hat duck, and you got a little chicken with a comb.
Yep.
Cool stuff.
No, it was nice. That was very nice. Very enjoyable.
Clayton, that was a great demo and a wonderful presentation. Don't let anybody tell you you're going too fast. You're doing it perfect.
So this is what you're going to be demoing at SWAT, are you?
Jeff, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. And the presentation, telling us what you're doing along the way, makes all the difference in the world. They're going to love you at SWAT.
That means the world to me to hear. This is technically I've demonstrated for like kids field trips and stuff, but I haven't demonstrated for turners that I don't know. My dad ran in and grabbed this real quick. Just for a preview, this is the garden fairy that I'm going to be demonstrating.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Cool.
Oh my.
And the carving and with the hat. And this is all just a big collection of 3/8, 5/8 golden ratio all the way through.
Right.
Wow.
So I'll be excited.
Folks.
I will be there.
That's excellent.
Especially
I wish I was going.
Let's see the man that did this.
Yeah.
So are you carving those wings? I mean, they're not turned, are they? They're carved.
They are carved. Everything else is turned. So it's
okay.
Is like this whole body is one, the hat is one, the stem underneath, and then the base.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that demo. Full show.
That's going to keep me smiling up until SWAT.
Yep, and I really appreciate you incorporating the golden ratio into the tournament because it's good to see.
So
I got another month, Clayton.
No, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for the gallery. I'm going to be as ambitious as possible, but I also know I just want to go see everybody else's work in the gallery. That's the thing. I don't want to impress anybody. I just want to be able to be up to snuff with all the rest of y'all.
You will be. You will be. You are, like Billy says, you are. No worries there. And it's so refreshing to see someone like you doing what you're doing in such a short amount of time, since you've been holding the gouge in your hand and spinning unround wood and making it round or making it round and then making it not round again. It's just, for me, it's great to see and know that the craft is going to be in good hands, after the majority of us are already long gone. So that's great.
That has been my goal ever since because Dane, you and I talked about this a little bit before.
Right.
That's been my goal ever since, because wood turning is great. I love doing it, but it's the community. It's me joining my local club. Really pushed me. Um, the goal maybe 6 months into it was I want to be not the youngest person here, and
Right.
the idea that I can, that I want to be able to reach out to, different areas and bring all kinds of different people, all kinds of different perspectives. I am looking forward to the. Are you familiar with Derek Weidman?
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yep.
Can do it. It almost made me go, okay, well, that's it. Wood turning is solved. He figured it out. But instead, I talked to him when he was at SWAT 2 years ago, and just the nicest guy, so encouraging. And so that's kind of my goal in wood turning, is to become somebody else's Derek Weidman.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got some amazing stuff that he does. Way
So,
out of the norm. And it
anyone
still looks like wood turning.
comments, other hat challenges, now that I know that I'm open to that?
Well, I posted this in chat, but just so you know that the Sherlock Holmes hat is officially called a deer stalker hat.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yep, I'm not sure if it's relevant or not, but it's
It's definitely good to know, because if I went out in public and tried to call it a duck hat on a Zoom meeting in front of hundreds of people, I definitely wouldn't want to get that wrong.
there you go.
Well,
Great demo.
Yeah.
just outstanding. Well, does anybody else have any questions or comments for
Yes,
Clayton?
I do have one. Number one.
Go ahead, Mark.
I'm proud of you, Clayton. I enjoyed the demo. And listen, if you need any special wood supplies or anything like that, just give me a call. My warehouse is full.
I am so excited about that. I actually, I have this by my lathe at all times. I just refilled it from whenever I got the 8-ounce bottle from you.
There you go.
Probably, you would not believe how many pieces I've finished and not had to worry about getting dust in the finish or anything like that, just because Parfix. So
Yeah, I'll have some. I forgot all about them. I ate the nuts.
it's probably a week and a half, and I'll give you a call needing to reorder, just because the stuff that I make with this just flies off the shelves.
Right.
Awesome.
There you
That's
go.
good to hear.
It's a good product.
Really is.
Yep. That it is. There's a lot of us that use it.
Well, you're coming right along, Clayton. I'm glad to see it. You make me happy.
That means
I bet, Mark.
What?
I bet it makes you happy. That's
It does.
having seeing a little bit of yourself in what he's doing. That's outstanding.
Yeah, he's a very nice young man.
Yes, he is.
You got me blushing over here. I'm glad there's no third camera to aim to my face.
Oh, it's all genuine, buddy. All genuine.
Yeah.
Don't let those people at SWAT intimidate you, because they're not any better than you are.
Nope.
Fact.
And some of them are beneath you.
Tell you,
I will state that right now.
My only one bad wood turning experience came from SWAT. I had met everybody. They were also nice, also easy to talk to. And then Sunday, right at lunch, while everybody was leaving, I talked to one guy. It's an amazing place where you can just sit down at any table anywhere and just, you automatically are friends. So I asked the guy, what kind of stuff do you turn? And he goes, oh, I'm with my friend. He's the one who turns. I don't turn. And I turned to ask the guy what he turns. He got up, took his plate to the trash, and me and that other guy sat uncomfortably for about 15 minutes.
Wow.
And so if that is my work experience, then, I mean, SWAT's a magical place.
Right.
Where you go, you're going to get idiots like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure.
Just,
I just couldn't connect.
Yeah, just brush it off. Move on.
Right.
Turn your
I'll tell you
camera
one
up
place.
so we
I'll
can
tell
see
you
who
one
you
place you
are.
won't. I'll tell you one place you won't see that at, and that's up at Level Up.
Oh, that's good.
Sure.
Yep, yep. All right. So with that, if there's no further questions or comments, hey, there he is.
There he is.
And so with that, we will call this the demarcation point for the main meeting, and I will leave the meeting open for the after hours. It's been a while.